Please stand by.
I've been receiving strange reports of odd
Not as mounted a full counterattack.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Primary objective achieved. Welcome back, Commander.
Good light. Shuttle's targeted. Coming left for the shot. Fox. Okay, flash 131. What's it? Understand your hit. Fox. Flash one. Left right. Take right. Merge. There's another one! Bingo.
Welcome along, folks. It is weekend number 3 of TACT, Tactical Air Combat Tournament, and we have today a match between the 343rd Naval Air Group versus the 14th VFS Samurais. Alongside me this afternoon is my good friend, longtime wingman, Mr. Octuplefire, who will be joining me for some colour commentary. Say hello, Octuple.
Hello.
You are very welcome, good sir. Should be an exciting afternoon of DCS. These first few weekends we've had 6 matches so far. Normal format is 2 matches on a Saturday and 1 match on a Sunday, being slightly backwards this weekend as we have 1 match today and 2... No, I got that wrong, aren't I? We do have 2 matches today. Do we have 2 matches today? I'm going to check that schedule again now. No, it's 2 tomorrow. I'm all over the place. Great start to the stream. So I am doing this match this afternoon with the 343rd and the 14th. We've got another match tomorrow with the number 15 Battle Axes and Outer Heaven. And I believe Low Blow then is picking up a match which should be the 3rd of the weekend tomorrow afternoon, if I can now rapidly get to the streaming schedule since my memory is failing me. Yes, Low Blow is indeed streaming tomorrow afternoon. Tall versus Harpia. Thank you to everyone who has followed in the last few minutes, and Crips coming in with a sub, thank you very much. Nice to have you along, welcome. So, quick shout-outs to those follows: Borchi, Miro, 51 Breakshot, 64th Rage, Crips as well, and... oh, you're going to make me pronounce this. Avon Wankanovi. Okay. Totally butchered that.
Incoming
Apologies.
transmission.
Hater995 and Master Mark. Lots of you coming in with follows. Thank you very much. We have the first jets slotting on the server, so we will be cutting to DCS in just a couple of moments' time. I see at the moment that we have 6 14th pilots connected. We have 5 from the 343rd. No, that's 6. I think there's one person without a tag. So we're very close now to going live.
Incoming transmission.
Apologies, one moment. I think we're just seeing a couple of people with ping issues. Pretty high, to be honest, so just bear with me a moment.
Incoming transmission.
And a good afternoon to everyone in chat. Gamma, nice to see you along as always. You're going to have to tell me what that correct pronunciation, Av1 is. Let's go, Starry Fox 9.
Incoming transmission.
And Airspace Professional, good to see you back again. Who's the favourite today? Can you tell you something about the teams? I can tell you several things about the teams, which we're going to get into in just a moment. Trekker, good to see you. There is a delay on the stream, folks. It is a 30-second delay, so you won't be seeing things live, just a little bit delayed. We'll keep you as close to the action as we can, but obviously for matches like this, there must be something. Alrighty, so let's have a quick look at what the state is. Octuple, can you see what's happening with this folks at the moment? We have got jets starting to slow.
Just waiting for the last couple of guys to slot in. Just Kraut, it's not slotted in just yet.
Roger that. So I think that probably gives us a good opportunity then to actually jump into the game, and then we'll talk a little bit about the squadrons. Avi Wankenob, oh my god. that's a name and a half. Alrighty, let's cut into the stream at this point. Alright, so in front of us I am looking currently at the 343rd. We've got 3 Hornets and 3 Vipers, with some rather stylish Japanese livery. So a little bit about the squadrons. The 343rd that we're looking at here are a Japan-based squadron, formed in '97 by the Warbirds. It was followed by Aces High and War Thunder, and around 2017 was split into a reciprocating fighter squadron and a jet fighter squadron. Main area of activity for the 343rd is PvP, but they also participate in large-scale PvP co-ops held by the community. Some of the more notable achievements for the 343rd, they've taken part in several competitions and have some awards. So in Top Gun 2019 they took 3rd place in the 2-on-2 heater, so AIM-9s, etc. SATAL 2020 they came in 2nd place in the 4v4 BVR competition. We had a similar conversation about this I think last weekend about teams stepping up from 4v4 to 6v6, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on. And then the German Tactical Air Group 2-on-2 competition, the 343rd took 2nd place in the 2v2 BVR. Let's see how the 14th are getting on. Looks like we've got 6 jets now. You see that too, Octuple?
Yeah, got everyone slotted in.
Excellent.
Waiting for the ready call.
Alright. If my computer will play ball, I'll tell you a little bit about the 14th. So the 14th VFS Samurais was founded by 3 former members of the 100th KIAP Su-33 Squadron in April 2020, with the intention to create a new squadron dedicated to full-fidelity aircraft. 14th VFS do fly dedicated to the F-16 Viper as their fighter of choice. However, they inform me that when the Typhoon comes around, they will be looking to add it to their inventory. I think them and most of the community in that regard. The mission profile of the 14th VFS is dedicated to air-to-air combat competitive, as well as to SEED, just like the real squadron, which is located in Asia. Focus of the 14th VFS is to shape competitive Viper pilots for the PvP environment, which also requires every pilot to go through some intensive combat training. And as I say that, we've got the first taxiing coming off from the 14th. The 14th accept applicants from around the world with some limited knowledge of flying and fighting preferably. They tell me that their hierarchy is relatively flat. And my computer's not playing ball again. Most importantly for them, however, is the friendly environment and dedication of the pilots, mutual respect to other pilots and other people of the community, which I think are ethos we can all get behind. So who do we have slotted in, Octuple?
So we've got the 14th guys. They're slotted in at 16s, just rocking the 16s. They're the guys are taxiing, I believe. Yep, so they're taxiing. Let's see what the 43rd guys are doing. Yeah, they're taxiing as well, so they're just doing a back taxi. And they're going to split between. So we've got 3 again in the F-16s, and they've also got the next 3 in the F-18s, so they're doing a bit of a mix.
I'll be interested to see how that pans out. Are they carrying kind of standard AMRAAM loadouts? They're carrying missile trucks?
So, no, the 18s, they're rocking 3 bags. So that leaves them with the 6 AMRAAMs and then the 2 AIM-9s on the wingtips. I'm just trying to get eyes on the F-16s. Sure. And so there's a guy without bags there.
Yeah, roger. All our Vipers on the 14th side here. 6 AMRAAMs, I can tell. No TGPs, 2 bags. Let's have a quick look over to the 343rd.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the 343rd rocking 3 bags, except for the 1, so I'm not sure if that's on purpose.
We have seen this a few times with the competition at the moment, that I believe there's a bug with the Viper fuel tanks where you can't refill the tank itself, you have to replace it. So we're seeing a lot of people leave the arming of the bags until the very end when they're on the runway ready to go. Alright, while we wait for these guys to take shape, it looks like the Hornets are sitting in front. Let's see who we got here on the 14th. So we've got Kraut, who is CO of the 14th Commanding Officer. The Falcon is the Deputy Commanding Officer there. So we also have Cookie, and my computer and notepad here is doing all sorts of wonderful things every time I talk. Single shot, Nazgul, telling us explicitly Nazgul is in Germany, I'm presuming, Miro, and Cookie. The roster of the 14th, I am told, are across Algeria, Germany, Serbia, Croatia, Belgium, and the United States. Okay, 14th are calling ready in chat, so I think we're just waiting for the 343rd, who are just about to finish taxi, it looks like. What do you make of this starting formation, Octuple? 2 Hornets up front, 1 Hornet right in the back with the other Vipers?
I'm liking it. Gives them a good mix. We'll just see what they do in the air. It might just be, obviously they've not got a lot of room to manoeuvre on the ground at this airfield, so it might just be them getting ready and getting into position quickly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that takes shape in the air. Typically, we've seen thus far in TACT where the different groups of types of aircraft stay together. So that is the 14th ready, yeah, just waiting on the 343rd, who now call ready, so we're just about to go live. Alright, go, go, go is given. We've got the first element departing from Kesham Island. We should point out here that this is Kesham versus Alain.
Right, and we've got the first pair from the 14th rolling now.
So in case anyone missed the sand around us, this is the Persian Gulf.
Right, and we've got all of the 14th rolling now. They just did a shotgun takeoff, so they're all rolling.
Roger, just looking at them now. 3 pairs, very tidy takeoff from the 14th there.
Yeah,
Falcon in the lead. Looks like the second element went around my camera position. That's all 6 Vipers up from the 14th. So, for anyone not familiar with the TACT format here, the squadrons are taking off from opposing airfields. So we've got the 343rd leaving Kesham Island, the 14th coming out of Alain in the south. In between is this great big bubble area surrounding Bullseye. That is a 45-ish nautical mile radius, so a 90 nautical mile diameter bubble. Once the aircraft enter that bubble, they cannot leave again and come back in. So they basically get one chance to go into the bubble to fight. Before they enter the bubble, they can RTB quickly to sort ordnance issues or INS issues, but once they're inside, that's it, the fight is on. The winner will be whoever eliminates the opposing team's aircraft, or whoever has control of the bubble for 5 minutes. Once one of those two conditions is met, the surviving team must then RTB to the opposing team's airfield. So, for example, in the 343rd's case, coming out of Kesham, they will need to land at Alain in the south. This means fuel, obviously, is a big factor for TACT. You got to watch your fuel, you got to have enough juice left to RTB. There is no landing during the fight. You just take off with what you got, and that's it. How do you think things will pan out with our breakdown here, Octuple?
That's good. I'm just watching the 14th at the minute. They're in a nice, tidy, tight 6 ship. I think the last one's just trying to rejoin now. Some eye candy. If you can get eyes on that.
We do love a good bit of eye candy.
Got 2 of the flights breaking off now, and the other 2 breaking right. So yeah, they're going into a spread. And some pairs of 2.
Yeah, just caught that on the stream in a nice external shot. Style points early on to the 14th. Jumping back north, we've got 2 groups of 3. So what they took off with seems to be what they're rocking now. Have a little look at this livery. So as we said, the 343rd are a Japanese squadron, so not surprisingly Japanese markings. And there goes a bag from Rossman, who is the commanding officer of the 343rd. Rossman, by the way, tells me that his hometown is Yokohama. He can also ride a horse and shoot a bow, and I think one of the most interesting bits of fact I've gotten from pilots to date, Rossman can also use a sword and a spear. Don't mess with Rossman. So in the front we've got Rossman. They've got to struggle with this name. Unamusuke and Katanak as an element, and at the back we've got Papa, Vita, and Starry Foxstein. Great name, that. Alright, battle areas contested. Both sides are now in the bubble. So 85 nautical miles between them. It's interesting, I think, Octuple, that we don't have any Tomcats in this engagement.
Yeah. I'll say again, I don't know if that's due to the recent update. There's been some issues with some of the missiles I noticed. But hopefully that won't be a factor in this mission.
Yeah, interesting, that last update. There's been an awful lot of discussion and debate, shall we say, in quotes, on the TACT Discord. I'm doing my best to stay out of that one, so leaving them at it. But certainly we won't have any long-range Phoenix kills to deal with and be stunned by this week. At least in this match. Or at least this round.
So this is actually going to be interesting. So the
Incoming
14th guys have decided to do a bit of a spread, whereas the 343rd guys have done like a spread in the opposite direction, so in trail.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how this actually starts off with the first engagement.
I'm just having a quick look here at the altitude of the 14th guys. So they're still in a relatively tight formation. They've not really gone to a combat spread yet as such. They're still in their elements. Up high, 37,000 feet, 34, 28 on the western edge. And looking at the 343rd, I'm going to come back to its stream chat comment there in a second. The first element about 30,000 and the second trailing around 31. So what's that spacing between them? About 10 miles?
Yeah. Good 10-mile trail.
Yeah, it's developing into a 10-mile spread between the elements of the 14th.
Yeah, I'm liking it. See how it plays out.
I'm getting some stick in stream chat about how I pronounce my T hitches. Did TitanFire just say 343rds? No. No, I did not.
It's interesting that the 343rd guys that have gone slightly east, I don't know if that's just them naturally kind of going towards the coast and getting into the mountains, or if they've done that on purpose to have the mountains as a bit of cover.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think we've seen people use those hills around Kasab and Ras Al Ghul yet. They're just getting into long-range Fox 3 territories, and we got a first Fox out. I think that came off Kraut. That's about a 40-mile shot. Kraut is up at 36,000, starting to descend. The 343rd guys are flying straight into this. They're still pretty close too. This could be dicey.
Yep, we've got Rossman starting to dive now through 30,000. I don't know if he's detected that launch, because again, with this latest update, I believe you can see the missiles on radar. We've got a few more shots out now.
Incoming transmission.
Yeah, definitely starting to defend.
Yeah, Falcons let one loose, as well as on the opposite side, Katnick.
Yep.
Tignac. Again,
Katnick.
pronunciation's going to be awful.
That's about 24 miles, so apologies in advance to all the names that we are butchering today. Falcon is descending too, preempting that missile coming back in.
Yeah, look at that missile, looks pretty defeated.
Yeah, that's trashed. I think Rossman has done enough as well to trash the long Fox 3 from Kraut. There's a Fox on the left, two Foxes on the left from Single Shot and Cookie. But we've got Yunamusuke. I'm definitely butchering that. I'll just go with Suke. Defending early. Although Vita, I'm not sure that I'm going for. I think it's going for Rossman. Let's have a look. You got an altitude readout on Rossman there?
He was low last I saw, yeah, he's down at 2,000 feet.
Yeah, pretty sure that's gone stupid.
Yeah. So you got the first ship of the 344.
Maybe not. Oh, it was tracking. But it's been defeated. Got some more Foxes on the right-hand side. I'm not sure who shot those.
Yeah, it was, let's see, it is Maru. It was a 30-mile shot. I'm not sure how well that's going to connect.
Yeah, I'm seeing a liberal use of AMRAAMs here from the 14th. One of the things we've seen in these first 2 weekends of TACT is the missile economics becoming a big factor in the engagements. Fire early with low PK, and you're left hanging later on in the round. So thus far, I think 343rd are doing well at conserving missiles. They're just preemptively defending, drawing the Foxes out. I think that Fox 3 is dead.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like it has the energy. Rossman has turned around, so that's defeated.
I'm just looking through. Cookie's dropped his tanks already. I didn't notice the 14th guys only took off with 2 tanks each, whereas the other guys, the 343rd, had 3 tanks, and they also used that first fuel tank to burn up high.
Yeah. How are we looking from a missile point of view on the 14th right now? Just give me a count of ordnance. Just as we get a fox out from Nazgul. I'm also being told in stream chat that it's Una Moose Suk for the person we can't pronounce. So Una Moose Suk. That's my next best attempt. Exchanging foxes here at 10 miles. Falcon and Cadnick. That was a crank shot. Anyone who hasn't been following the meme on Tricker's channel, crank shot! Cadnick has turned cold. Missile, 5,000 feet. That's not going to catch up. So it looks like Cadnick, rather. My apologies again. It's good. Fox out from Miru. On Vita. Again, about 10 miles. Vita has turned. This missile is losing energy. I think that's good. Another Fox from Kraut. This is closer in, 7 miles on Starry Fox 9. Starry Fox 9 is 8,000 feet. A bit of energy there from Kraut. This missile could have legs. But it looks like it's defeated. You can just see the aircraft pulling away at the 1 o'clock. So that is trashed. Good defense, Starry Fox 9.
Yeah.
That's getting close, actually.
So the 14th guys are being a bit reckless with their missiles. The 343rd guys, a lot of them have still got all their missiles.
Right. What was the missile count on the 14th? That's trying to get low?
The full count is changing constantly, but they've gone for probably about 20%, 30% of their missiles now.
Roger. We've got a 7-mile exchange here between Unamusk and Single Shot. Both are pretty low, so this is not a high PK exchange. I mean, you're down the weeds 2,000 feet, that's very thick air. An exchange happening on the right-hand side, 9 miles between Kraut, 16,000 feet, and Katonak, 6,000. So Kraut's shot has the advantage with energy here. I'm loving how the stream chat has now devolved into crankshot memes. And who thought it up first? Right, Amram coming from Katanak to Kraut. Doesn't look like it's going to be a danger. Speed bleeding off heavily.
Got more exchanges of missiles on the west again. Nazgul might be in trouble here. I know, he's turned away.
2,000 feet, down at 1,000. There's still about a mile and a half. I think that's going to be okay. Into the water it goes. So, yeah, there hasn't been too much by way of kind of flanking maneuvers. Everyone's kind of still more or less in their battle lines. Although the distances are collapsing down all the time here. Fox from Single Shot, I think that's coming on Unamusk. 7 miles out, Una is up at 7,000 feet, 10,000 from Single Shot, that has a bit of energy. Shot on the right, Starry Fox 9. 6,000 playing off against 13, that's an upward shot. Let's watch this missile on the west. I think that's defeated.
We've got a defensive shot from Falcon onto Starry Fox 9. It looks like he was potentially turning into it. I'm not sure if he's
pull
got the
Amram, might get him, might get him, might get him! Lit in the burner at the last second and defeated it.
Another dangerous shot on Starry Fox on the east. Again, he's got the terrain cover. I'm not sure if he can actually get behind that mountain.
Yep, did.
Oh yeah, straight into the mountain. Yep.
We've got 2 Amrams tracking Rossman, who's hauling ass cold. Starry Fox 9 on a really interesting flank here. I don't think Falcon or Kraut know that Starry is there. That's 8 miles. Starry's down 3,000 feet. Kraut is up at 8,000. Falcon is turning... Still running cold, 6,000, ascending. Katanak coming in again from the flank.
Okay, Vita in the center again.
Vita's in trouble.
Miss out, yeah.
This is going to be first kill, I think. Oh, and Vita eats it.
Yeah, that was from Kraut.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Vita got so exposed in there. It was like running straight in the middle. But as I said, the wall of the 14th has kind of shifted over to the west of Ras Al Ghul there, but they are regrouping. They're in one big blob. I think that initial flank from Starry Fox 9 is not looking as attractive anymore. That, if anything, Starry needs to actually turn out, and is starting to do so. Starry has got Rossman coming in 7,000 feet, about 7 miles away, so there's support. A Fox coming out, I think, from Miru. That looks like it's heading towards Starry. Miru was pretty low. The missile's 6,000 feet. Starry's at 1. A little bit of energy, but I don't think it'll have the legs to cover 3 miles.
No, it's not using their altitude either. They're all quite staying below 10,000.
Yeah, Rossman has 4 AMRAMs I'm seeing there. Cookie is down to 1. Nazgul has 1 left. There's a Fox from Rossman on Nazgul turning out. That was about 6 miles. Rossman, I think, was relatively high, but that missile is going to be defeated. It's down in the dirt already. Trashed. Let's have a quick look on the left. Miru has 2 AMRAMs. Falcon comes in with 2. Kraut 1. Yeah, the 14th are just getting through their missiles.
Yeah. That's Falcon down to his last missile. So he's got 1 more in reserve.
It's about a 5 mile exchange. Falcon
Same with
relatively
Kraut.
low. Papa high. This missile could have legs. I think it's gone dumb though. Oh no. Relatively close. Oh no! Oh, I thought he had defeated it, but then pulled back in at the last second. That's a kill on the left. I think that was
Falcon on Papa.
Coup Papa no. So that is a 6v4 now? So while the 14th don't have many missiles left, the 343rd are down to 4 jets. Starry Fox 9 pressing in. I hope Starry sees the 2 Vipers pressing in, or is going to eat an AMRAM very quickly. Here it comes, 4 miles.
Yeah, that's
Turning cold.
Kraut. Yeah, I've noticed in the 14th guy only has... Oh, Cookie's just died, did he?
I've missed that. I'm just watching
Yeah.
Starry Fox 9 about to eat it. And has eaten it.
Ah,
So you say Cookie has died. Cookie
yeah.
got
Didn't see a missile
disconnected.
near him.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
disconnect.
okay.
So under the TACT rules, that is as good as a kill. So I think I'm seeing 4 left on the 14th. I feel like we've missed a death on the 14th side. Rossman killed Kraut, I think, while we were watching Starry Fox 9 die there. Here's an exchange, Falcon and Unamusk. Falcon dies. Okay, these numbers are balanced again. For a second there, it looked like the 343rd were going to be overwhelmed. So we're at 3v3 now. I think the missile ordnance, or missile economics, is definitely going to become a factor now.
Yeah, the 14th only have 1 each. Let's just check on the 343rd guys.
There's a Fox coming from Katanak on Miru, while Rossman puts another one out. Oh, Miru is being pincered. He's got to get hard defense here. Has return fire against Rossman. Gonna leave this in F10 for a moment so we can see what happens. I think has the power to get away. Rossman looks in trouble. Potentially. There's Rossman on our 11 o'clock of the missile. Rossman looks good. It's running cold. That's defeated. Well, we got a little bit of a breather here for a moment. Missile economics, right. We're looking at Unamusk. 2 Fox 3s left. Of course, the Sidewinders are still in play. They could be important yet. 1 AMRAM left on Rossman. Katanak turning in the east side with a single AMRAM left. Single shot has 1. Nazgul, Winchester, Miru, Winchester. This is going to be an interesting finish.
I was going to say, single shot's the only AMRAM carrier, I believe.
Right.
For the 14th.
14th really need to take a defensive posture here, I think. They need to just start bleeding missiles out from the 343rd. They can't press in.
Yeah, they really do.
Unamusk with a shot, that's about 5 miles. Miru is 3,000 feet. That had a little bit of energy. This may connect. Oh! What a last-minute defense! That looked a little bit like desync to me, truthfully.
Yeah, the desync is going in. I'm noticing that.
Even jumping
Oh,
back in
just-
F10 kind of warped around a little bit. Have we lost a 3?
Yeah, we lost
14th?
Nazgul. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I was looking at the missile on Miru. So Nazgul has died to an AMRAM from Rossman. Single shot has fired his last AMRAM. That was possibly ill-advised.
Yeah, 10-mile cold shot. It looking like he's going
Yep.
hot to Rossman. Rossman's hot, and
That's a dumb side.
AIM-9.
Yeah, dumb sidewinder. Second one's going to track though. Second one is a better track. That's
I don't
right
think
along
he
with
sees it. He's not flaring. He's not defending.
it. Doesn't look like it's actually tracking. It's just flying
No,
dumb.
past him.
Yeah, yeah. Did not have good tone. That's a waste from Rossman. Miru 3 miles behind.
Yeah,
Single shot is burning down. Single shot could eat it from Unamusk here. That's a Hornet. We'll have sidewinders on board if Unamusk sees him. They're only about a mile and a half apart.
No, he's turned cold. He's
Single
not going
shot
for it.
2000. Unamusk is turning out. Running to Katanak, coming in 1,000 feet. Viper.
He's
Gonna have a
not got
merge here.
weapons either. This is going to be guns only.
Merge.
But again, the only guy with a missile is Unamasuk, and that's an AIM-9 again. That's the only missile in play.
Single shot was going high, going down low again. Who's the other Viper in this merge? Was it Katanak? Oh, guns coming in from the side! Single shot has eaten it. I think that was Rossman coming in.
Right, Maru's merged with Unamasuk, but he is lagging hard. I'm seeing a lot of desync.
Yeah, same on my side. Is that Maru now as the last 14th
He is
pilot?
the last 14th guy yet.
It's gone high. I do see a Sidewinder on board with Unamusk. Is that our last missile?
Is our last missile yet?
A lot of fluff coming off. Maru is in behind. Trying to get stabilized on Unamusk 6. But this desync is a little bit nuts. Oh, there's a gun solution coming up. I think we may get a guns kill if DCS plays ball, while aircraft turn 90 degrees every which direction. Oh, Miru's in trouble. Viper trying to get in behind, overshot. I think there's another Hornet passing overhead.
Yeah, unfortunately, Maru's on the only guy with a missiles as a 6.
Yeah.
So he's not in a position to use it.
That's a good thing for Maru, so it's chosen target successfully.
So his speed is starting to get a little bit low now.
Yeah, I imagine fuel is going to become an issue here too. Oh my god, this desync! Maru's ping is only 115. I mean, the 343rd guys are up about 270, 280, but holy shit. I just saw Maru go into the deck and warp back out again.
Yeah, this is
Well, this is interesting.
something.
Ladies and gentlemen, DCS netcode. There's guns coming in on Maru behind. Ah, Maru is
that's
down!
Nice.
Hero of
What's
the
that?
hour
Was
is
that
Rossman again, I
Rossman?
think. Well, that's 2 guns killed.
Yeah, 2 guns killed and he got 4 kills overall.
Wow, that is that's quite a round for Rossman. As we said earlier, can use a sword and spear, can also use a gun on a Hornet.
Yeah.
Wow, that was an intense round. It's actually really nice to see some BFM combat. A lot of these rounds tend to end missile only. So these guys have 76 miles to go to Al Ain. We had a lot of turning and burning there. So I suspect fuel will start to become an issue. Rossman's doing the clever thing here and ascending hard. Unamusk is doing the same, so no slouches here. These guys know exactly what to do. Get altitude as quickly as you can, so if you run out of gas you can glide. Katanak climbing as well.
Yeah, got 80 miles to travel.
So how did the kills look there, Octuple? What did we see? What have we just watched?
Yeah. So the first kill was Kraut on Vita. And that was when the Vita, I think, it was overextended. He basically got pincered from both sides. With Kraut's defending from the west, I think it was, and then turning east into Kraut. And I'm just trying to figure out. So got Falcon that also got a kill on Papa. I did miss a couple of these, so unfortunately I don't know the order.
Yep.
Unamasuk also got a kill on Kraut. Oh, wrong, no, Falcon. I think that was the exchange. But yeah, Rossman doing some work. He killed. Let's have a look at this. No, Rossman killed Kraut. Yeah, Maru, Nazgul, and Single Shot.
And those last two, of course, being
And
with
then-
guns.
Yeah, single shot and Aru were both with guns, so definitely, yeah, leading the squadron there.
Yeah, impressive round from Rossman. So, who is flying with Rossman at the moment? We got Unamusk, whose hometown is in Tokyo and describes the Su-33 as his wifey. His fun fact, as was sent to me, is something that is not streamcastable, but let's just say it is something to do with how well endowed he professes to be. Katanak then, looking in. So, Katanak, I think, has been with the squadron for 2 months, prefers the F-16, from Japan, and his jokes have a habit of freezing the place, is what I've been told. So that sounds like a sense of humour after my own heart. At 60 miles to go. We've got Unamusk at 21,000 feet. Rossman is at 15,000. That's, I think, slowing a rate of climb. 25,000 on Katanak. What do you feel like, people? Do you think we're fairly safe these guys will make it?
Yeah, they're looking good. They're pretty liberal with their throttle. They're all above 9%. So I don't think they're worried that much. But we'll see. These guys obviously took the 3 bags. So they should have had plenty more than the 14th guys would have.
Yeah, it's a good shout, actually. 2 Hornets have survived here, and they had those 3 bags. Yeah. I feel like Rossman is going to be suffering with fuel. He's just maxed out 15,934. Maybe just took hands off the stick for a moment, climbing again now. What's RPM at?
Not climbing as much as I would if I was worried about fuel, so I think he's safe.
Yeah, 96% RPM, so still has power applied. 82%
Yeah.
RPM on... I'm getting corrected all the time in chat here. Unamuske. So that K-E. Muske. Have I gotten that right finally, chat? Unamuske? Unamuske. Okay, I think that's probably the best we're going to get somewhere.
Katanak might be struggling a little bit. He's trying to climb hard at a low throttle.
90% RPM, leveling out 33,000 feet, 210 knots indicated. Yeah, Breakshot making a good point in stream chat. The 14th got unlucky there with that disconnect. And as we said, that counts as a kill in TACT terms. Like, I think at the time, we were looking at a 6-on-4, maybe 6-on-3, rapidly became a 5-on-3, something like that. And it was looking bad for the 343rd. I was about to make a remark along the lines of, you know, they've been wasting missiles, the 14th, but they've got the advantage. And then the disconnect happened, and followed by another kill. And the balance, the match balanced out pretty easily there. So there's confirmation we didn't need it because we've no 14th remaining, but the blue side have controlled the bubble for 5 minutes now, coming up in the top right, or TB. They're already en route. As I'm being not quite congratulated, but I've had confirmation from chat that pronunciation is vaguely correct. Unamuske.
Yep, so we got Rossman. He's only 35 miles from the runway, and it looks like it's going to be just a straight-in landing as well, so that's going to be quite easy for them.
Yeah, of course, our lane is mostly north-south in its runways, isn't it?
It is indeed.
So what do you think in terms of the area play we saw there? Like, initially we had the 343rd kind of hugging those hills, and more or less both sides were just in like a kind of line abreast battle lines against each other, dueling.
Yeah.
I think it was later on we saw the flank around by Starry Fox 9.
Yeah, and that was definitely using the terrain. I think that was the more defending south, trying to get the notch and using that terrain.
Yeah,
just ended up with a bit of a flank.
The terrain kind of northwest of Fujairah, right?
Yes, yeah, so he was east of Ras Al Khaimah. He was travelling south and he was getting engaged, so every time he was getting engaged, I think he was just dropping down low into these mountains and the low hills and just trying to get around it.
Yeah, it was clever. I didn't pick up on the use of terrain at the time, but of course, you know, you do have some substantial... they're fairly low, to be honest. There's only about 2,700, maybe 3,000 at a push in places. But you can hide from AWACS down there. You can hide from Link.
Yep, and he definitely dragged some missiles into the hills, so he was completely safe.
Yeah, I think there was a brief opportunity where there were two people from the 14th. I don't remember the exact names now at this point, but they were on that kind of right edge of their line, that eastern edge, and sorry Fox 9 was pressing. They looked unaware. I think if they turned away, maybe they became aware, or it was luck, but you know, there was a brief opportunity for sorry Fox 9 to really press in and run amok.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I don't know if that was more of a disadvantage for the 14th guys, because they were stuck in the open, didn't really have much terrain.
Yeah, it's interesting that
343rd guys did stick with the mountains.
Yeah, I think this is the first match in this TACT run that I can recall, at least, where the terrain has been used as effectively as that. Most of the time on this Keshem VIA line, we're seeing people more or less ignore the hills, and just as if they were flying over the ocean. But it seemed to work well for the 343rd here.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's one of their plans, or because I know the land actually kind of draws you in when you're traveling.
Yeah.
It's a known reference point.
Yeah, it certainly helps situational awareness having those landmarks to play with. Of course, the next round that we will be seeing will invert the starting location, so the 343rd will be taking off from Alain, and the 14th will be coming out of Keshem. So it'll be interesting to see what the 14th do with regards to the terrain, or if that northern point has an advantage. Let's catch up a little bit here on some of the stream goings on. So a number of follows coming in the last few minutes while this has been going on. So Master Mark II, No Wheels, 51st Rich, Smooth Operator Gel, Kalaz, Capitalis, oh god, Pyroscott, AKM 369, Riker DCS. Thank you all for the follow. That I believe is Riker from ETF. I'm recalling one of the earlier streams with Riker and Picard, and I confused Tricker not getting the Star Trek references. Is indeed from ETF. Just noticed the message in chat. So pretty much as you said, we've got Rossman coming in. It could go for straight in, no gear down thus far. I think, if I were to guess, he's going to go for an overhead. Or just a late gear deploy.
Yeah.
If you've got the fuel, go for the style points, you know? Why not?
Yeah, I noticed the guys in the back. Unamuske. I can't remember what we've settled on for his name. But
here comes the gear. Unamuske. So the K-E as if it was like K-A-Y.
Cruising in at a low throttle. I'm not sure if that's just him giving the other guys space, or
he's just slowing down. I think it's just slowing down for landing. 160 indicated.
Incoming transmission.
81 Banana, thank you for that follow as we see Rossman touch down to secure the first round victory for the 343rd. That's wheels on deck. First round goes to the 343rd, confirmed. Just having a look at stream chat. Pyro Scott is questioning someone say Rossman is in Tokyo. Don't believe so. My notes say that Rossman's hometown is Yokohama. Unamuske hometown is Tokyo indeed. Alright, so we just got the Viper and the second Hornet coming in, but that is the round done. I am not in control of the server here, so it's up to the squadrons themselves. I think one of the guys, possibly in the 14th, is in control of that, so they will take it down and restart the mission inverted in just a few minutes' time. So what do you think could be done differently in round 2, Mr. Octuple?
Well, I'm just wondering if that mountain player is actually going to come back into it. And it's basically what the teams take from it. Because obviously you don't have access to their fuel and stuff, so if they're struggling for fuel, I know the 14th seem to be a bit more liberal with their fuel. So I would have thought they would have struggled a bit more. They were dropping their tanks very early, where the 343rd guys seemed to have them for a good 5-10 minutes after that.
Was that consistent between the Hornets and the Vipers, or was that the fact they had Hornets?
I think that was consistent between Hornets and Vipers.
Yeah, one thing I did notice that we've seen in other matches, I remember Tricker was talking about this, I think, last weekend, that we've seen a lot of Vipers forget to drop their bags, but I don't think we saw that today. I think they got them off at whatever time was appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw like the 14th guys, they were dropping their tanks all around a similar point, so they were obviously well aware of the fuel.
Yeah, so it's such a simple thing, isn't it? That you can, your fuel tanks run dry, you get them off, but in the heat of the moment you can forget that so easily. So it's nice that both sides were on the ball here. Here comes Kattenak. The long final. Almost overshooting the tire marks and is on deck. A little bounce by the looks of it.
And Unamasuk landing on the taxiway, maybe.
Suke? Let's get it right. We've spent half the stream trying to pronounce it, so we may as well now. That looks like a taxiway landing. Unamusuke, no fucks given.
Just a bit of sweat in his eyes. Straight onto his parking spot.
Alright, that is all 3 remaining aircraft from the 343rd on deck as we await the restart here. Thank you also to 81 Banana and Oh Gentleman for the follows. Welcome along, hope you're all enjoying the stream. For anyone who doesn't know what the hell is going on at this point, where have you been? But also, this is the Tactical Air Combat Tournament, weekend number 3. Matches going on across June, July and August. We typically have 3 in a weekend. Normal times would see 2 on a Saturday, 1 on a Sunday. We have just this one today, on the Saturday, and 2 to come tomorrow. And we'll just jump in here to the schedule while we wait for round 2 to kick off.
Incoming
Server will be
transmission.
coming down any moment. So tomorrow I will be streaming the match between, as I rapidly try to find it in the list, the number 15 Battle Axes versus Outer Heaven. That will be starting at 1700 Zulu. And then later tomorrow evening, Low Blow is streaming Tall versus Harpia at 1900 Zulu. So 2 interesting matches coming up tomorrow. Frosty, thank you for the follow. So while we wait for the server to restart, I'm going to pop AFK for a moment to refill a glass of water, get ourselves psyched up, and we'll be back live soon. So I will leave you with the schedule. Alright folks, welcome back. For anyone just joining us, round 1 has just complete between the 343rd and the 14th. Round 2 is about to start. 343rd took that first round with 3 aircraft remaining, 2 Hornets and a Viper. Commanding officer of the 343rd, Rossman, with 4 kills and 2 of them gun kills, had a really superb showing. What do you think we'll see this time, Mr. Octuple?
I'm wondering whether they're actually going to notice, if the 14th guy had noticed what the weak point was, which is the mountains. Seeing if they'll use that more or try and draw them away.
Yeah.
So they set themselves their feet wet.
Yeah, I think as well the big thing that I was seeing from the 14th is pretty much what we said early on, that there was just a liberal use of missiles, and an over-liberal use of missiles, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely at the start. And if the 343rd knew that, they could have exploited that massively. I think there was a good point where they still had about 4 or 5 missiles, where the 14th guys only literally had 1 between the 3 of them. But the 433rd guys were still doing defensive shots. They were shooting at a good 5-8 miles. But they were all getting defeated. And they weren't closing the ground to actually exploit that fact, because obviously they didn't know.
Yeah, I think they really paid for it in the end. You know, when they got to that point of 3v3, they had maybe 1 missile between the 3 guys on the 14th. And it was single shot with a single shot, as several people in stream chat were making the joke of. So yeah, if they had more missiles left, more sticks, you know, that could have been a different result. But I think they really paid the price for taking those low PK shots, and this is a trend we've seen a number of times so far in TACT. You know, that's the side who takes those low PK shots and wastes the missiles suffer for it later on in the round more often than not.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously the 18's got the advantage that he can carry 2 AIM-9s as well. So I'm just looking at the roster here, and the
roster.
we've had a little, or the lineup here for the 334th. Oh, sorry, 343rd guys, numbers.
Yep.
Masters come in, and he's took a 18, so they'll have a 4 18s as it stands currently. I'm still waiting on one.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, they'll have the advantage of missiles.
Let me just see who we lost there then, because we haven't seen Master so far.
Trying to work out. Still waiting for the last guy to join.
Yeah.
Still waiting for one.
So before the stream today, and I've done this for all the squadrons that I will be streaming for, I've asked them to provide some background info for their squadron and their pilots. So varying levels of detail between the squadrons, so a few little notes to read from. Master Mark II is also from Japan, like the rest of the squadron. I think has been 2 months in the squad and prefers the F-15. And for whatever reason, in his own words, thought the F-15 would be used for this, so I was practicing with it until recently. So we'll see if that lack of long-term practice with the aircraft he's in now, which I have to check quickly is a Hornet, whether that's going to be a factor or not for Master.
It looks like Masters swapped out with Papa.
Right, so that is Papa No is not here this round. Also from Japan with the squadron 6 months, prefers the Viper or the Hornet. And I don't know what to make of this fun fact that has been provided, but the quote is, "All producers, let's move up, dance with our angels." No idea. I feel like that's some sort of in-house gag, but there you go, you got it. Thank you also to 51st Frosty, and it's Crispy Danger. Great name. Thanks for the follows. Welcome along. Hope you're enjoying the event today. Alright, let's see. Who have we missed then? Vita was here in the first round, I believe, from Japan with the squadron 6 months. Prefers the Viper or the Fokker Wolf 190, which is a little bit of extremes at play. Has been playing 10... No, hang on, I'm getting this wrong. It's been 10 years since returning to Flight Sim. Used to play IL-2 and Lomac FC2. That's going back. I think the only one we've missed thus far then is Starry Fox 9, who was our flanking Viper in the first round. Viper? No, Hornet. Was Starry Fox 9 in the Hornet last round, Octuple?
Story Fox 9 was, yes, in a Hornet.
Okay, yeah. So Starry Fox 9, also from Japan with the squadron a year, flies the Hornet, so I probably should have deferred that from my notes. But thought I'd check with the source of truth here, Mr. Octuplefire's notes. And fun fact, is a master of oversleep, which is something I could definitely get behind myself. Okay, so I'm seeing 5 people from the 14th connected, while we have 6.
Just lost Falcon, I believe. Not sure if he's swapping out or he's in trouble.
Roger. So this initial formation again will be interesting from the 343rd. They did 2 Hornets and a Viper up front, and then 2 Vipers and a Hornet at the back. Obviously having 4 Hornets and 2 Vipers now. I think that should, if anything, put the missile economy back in their favour, or even further in their favour perhaps, with that extra Hornet. Again, it looks like the Hornets are all taking 3 bags. Let's quickly try and identify this third one. Oh no, we've got an ugly. That's interesting. So the last Hornet on the runway here has 2 bags with an ugly configuration, so giving 2 extra slammers.
Interesting.
So that'll be 8 slammers, 2 sidewinders. Have you seen any TGPs in use, Octuple? On the Vipers?
Currently, no. Just having a scan through now.
Got an aggressor livery coming here on the 14th side. I'm not seeing any TGPs, standard 6 AMRAM, 2 bag configuration on the Vipers. And I would not make a good cameraman apparently, as I snap around like a lunatic.
I'm just wondering on your opinion on these 2 bags versus 3 bags for the F-16. What would you be taking?
Generally I take 3 bags, but I'm not a good Viper pilot, so I'm not going to profess to be an authority on it. There's been a kind of a conversation I've been hearing a few times lately about 2 bags with the Hornet over 3. Certainly would make your life easier in terms of how much you've got to do when they run dry. I mean, I think they could suffer from it here. Like, we don't know, because the 14th all died, but we don't know what their fuel state was like in the end. But I feel like if somehow Miru had managed to pull it off, that it would be questionable whether we would have gotten back to base. Yeah. Especially given how much turning he had to do in that fight. We do see the 14th taxiing now, by the way. That is 6 people connected. Falcon has come back in a Viper. Just to confirm a question in chat from Aerospace Professional, 9X is not allowed, so you can only take the 9 mic. That 343rd are still on the runway at Alain, sitting and waiting. We've had no ready signals yet from either squad. Looks like the 14th are back taxiing here along the runway. And we'll kick in the music again, which was off for our break. I did see someone picked it up correctly in chat, by the way. It is the Stellaris OST. Most of the DLC soundtrack, to be specific. I can't see who said it now. It's a long way back towards the start of the first round. There's something quite epic about it, I find. I thought it would be a nice tone for the match. Also change of pace to my usual rock and cheesy 80s that regular viewers will be familiar with. Bullet with a controversial opinion of everyone fighting against the Wood of Fourth should not take fuel tanks. It will help. So I think as we've mulled on Octuple, the two things at play for this second round for me will be how economical the 14th can be with their low PK shots and whether they take them or not. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more economical, but also whether that terrain around Kasab comes into play.
Yeah, there were some long shots. I questioned. I think you questioned a few as well.
Yeah.
Like shots which are pretty much just worthless straight away.
343rd are calling ready in chat. We're just waiting for the 14th to do so. Last Viper is about to finish taxi, and then we're going to get this shindig ready. There is the 14th with the ready. And we'll go! Round 2 of the 343rd Naval Air Group versus the 14th VFS Samurais. We are watching the 14th at Kesham Island. 6 Vipers. th are rolling. Pretty much the same as last time by the looks of it. Let's get on board with Kraut, who looks to be in the number 2 position here, unless he just got overtaken by the wingman. Again, very tidy takeoff. I like to see tidy formation takeoffs. Typically throughout the competition thus far we've not seen such close-in, almost airshow type of formation. I think people are a little bit hesitant with the latency and DCS netcode and whatnot, as we talked about. And certainly saw with the BFM from Miru in the last round. Alright, all 6 of the 14th are airborne, and looking back at Align, I think we're seeing the same thing there, over there again, which is initial 3-ship, 10-mile separation to the next 3-ship. And that first 3-ship, 2 Hornets and a Viper, and then we got 2 Hornets and a Viper at the back. So riding along with Master Mark II and the Ugly configuration. I feel like this loadout is going to press an already advantage for the 343rd.
Yeah, I was literally just doing the math there. So the 14th have got 36 AMRAAMs. Obviously, with that Ugly loadout, the 343rd have actually got 38. But then they've obviously got the added 8 Sidewinders that they're carrying.
Yeah, and I think those 8 Sidewinders should not be understated. It's very easy to dismiss the Sidewinder in a competition like this. But as we saw in the last 2 weekends, the Tomcats have sometimes been surprising when they run out of Phoenixes and still have those Sidewinders. They can become a force multiplier when you get down to that low ordnance situation.
14th of doing the same breakaway again, going to a spread of 2 ships.
Oh, pity we didn't catch that in the flyby. It looked pretty cool in the first round, to be fair.
Interestingly, yes. Look where the 343rd guys are heading.
Indeed, I was just looking at that actually as we watch the nice split from the 14th here. Having a quick look at altitudes, see what they're doing. Different energy states, which is always interesting. We got this eastern element at 14,000 feet, the middle element 15, and then the western one a little bit lower at 9. Looking at the 343rd, they are pressing that same type of idea. Lead element about 28,000, rear element 20,000 feet. That's still about I was going to say still about a 10 mile, roughly 10 mile spacing between them.
I'm just wondering if the 14th will see what they're doing, whether they'll decide to either bring them out into the open or they'll hold that them high mountains, because they'll definitely have the advantage of the higher mountains. Have an easier time defending, at least.
Yeah, agreed. We're just about to see the first aircraft enter the bubble. I think the 14th will get there first in the north. Looks like Single Shot and Wingman have just entered. Blue have taken control of the battle area, says the script, as the 343rd are about to enter the battle area on the south and contest it. Stream chat has taken on a life of its own with side cats with Tom Winders and time sides with cat winders. That entertains me far more than it should.
Yes.
Alright, these initial elements are 84 miles apart now, with that eastern 14th group just a little bit further away.
I'm just wondering if the 343rd guys can actually get into these mountains, or whether they'll be hiding from the E3 and getting off that data link.
It's an interesting question, because the E3 is circling Kesham Island, so that's a pretty much like southerly trajectory right over those hills.
Yeah, so if they can get in there, they'll definitely get off that data link, which should be a massive
Yeah.
advantage.
Whereas if we look at the red E3, down by Al Ain, that has a pretty much clear field of view all the way up to the western edge of those Kasab hills. So again, get down in those hills, you'll fall off link, but, you know, terrain could be a factor in this one. I think it's an interesting shout-out too, because we've not seen this to date with any of the matches that I've seen, at least, and I think I've watched back them all. Such a conscious effort to try and use that terrain.
Yeah, I think the aim of some of these maps are to purposely avoid the high mountains. I think this is probably the only one that I've seen that has some quite big terrain relief in there.
Yeah, we've got a lovely combat spread between two of the 343rd guys here. So I'm looking at Una Musquet, as I correct myself, kind of falling back a little, taking a lazy spread right. It's always impressive seeing a few aircraft in cons like that. Meanwhile, they are closing with the lead element of the 14th, 51 nautical miles. 343rd are up at 30,000 feet, just to give the aerospace professional a few more T-hitches to mock me over. Viper Falcon from the 14th, 36,000 feet. 36,000 with Kraut, Western Element 38, 41, so they're getting energy here, they're picking up speed too. I'm seeing ground speed about 700 plus on most of these aircraft. Falcon up nearly 850.
Yeah, I'm going to say the 14th guys are very fast, 800 ground speed I'm seeing.
You gotta imagine that's going to be an issue too with only 2 bags. You're burning a lot of fuel this early in the fight. Alright, as the music begins to get epic, we're 34 nautical miles apart.
First missiles are out.
Fox from Rossmann and Una Musquet. It looks like it's tracking on Falcon and Kraut, so those are roughly 32 mile shots. Was 20, they're diving now, so 41,000 feet loft. Both of those, I would expect to see some form of shot out from Falcon here, or else why are you up that high? Here comes the Fox. But as he foxes that, he has a 15-mile AMRAAM tracking in. And that's still a 24-mile shot, so he's going to have to hold that for a little while. And if he doesn't start preemptively defending or cranking, this could become dicey for him. That AMRAAM's passing 50,000 feet. Is it even tracking?
It's going very high. It's not got a lot of speed on it I'm looking at, so I think it may have been trashed already.
I mean, Rossmann is starting to turn, presumably has gotten a warning. That is passing over Falcon, I believe. Yeah, so that's
down to 16.
That's fine. I suspect that's a cheap shot from Falcon, though. Potentially. Rossmann has turned cold. That's about 4 miles back. That all looks fine. The shot from Una Musquet looks to be going to Nazgul now, going to the right. So 5 miles out, 25,000 feet, building up some energy, but a reversal from Nazgul means it should be okay. So we've got Rossmann, Katanak, and Una Musquet going cold while the second element take over hot. There is a 10-mile gap between Master Mark II and Falcon. Vita is looking 12 miles at Kraut, who's just put a Fox out. There is an AMRAAM tracking towards Vita. This could get interesting at 3 miles if it tracks. 18,000 feet descending. Vita's down at 8. I don't think it's tracking though. This Fox from Falcon is probably more dangerous, 7 miles, and the Fox from Crouch should be defeated by Vita. The Master Mark II needs to start hauling a little bit, I think. He's down in the weeds. But if this thing gets the speed, it sees him. It's almost 12 o'clock. I want to say that should be enough. It's just broken away, accelerating. That should be trashed. Yeah, that's trashed. So again, we've seen a liberal use of missiles from the 14, possibly less so than before, but there is a long Fox that's 15 miles from Nazgul up at 11,000 feet against Namuske. I'm going to have to catch myself every time I say that. However, the 14th have a wide spread here that looks to be collapsing in on the 343rd.
Comment on that, they're definitely holding the ground. 343rd going for the tactical blob, but that's also worked, I've noticed.
Right, Fox from Falcon, this could be dangerous. I think Kraut's shot has been defeated. Rossman, 9,000 feet. Amrams at 15. It's got energy. It's only 3 miles out. This is dangerous for Rossman. Rossman turning cold. Got a Fox from Cookie on the west, 14 miles. Fox, another came from Miru on Unamuske. These could get dangerous. Looks like Rossman is okay. Let's jump into this Amram on the east. Passing the 1 o'clock low, that is defeated. Good defense, Unamuske.
Might have some close action on the east here. Vita and Maru getting very close to each other.
That's 4 miles, but that Fox is on Unamuske. Vita has a chance here. Fox coming from Nazgul. Gonna have to defend, gonna have to defend. I don't know which one to follow.
Vita's in trouble here.
Vita's in trouble. Trashed.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, went into the deck as well. Oh dear. Maneuver kill. Oh, this is close. This is close. He's going to turn back into it. Oh, just got away. Unamuske just gets away. So that is a first kill, maneuver kill for the 14th. Rossman is in trouble. Rossman's being pincered. I think Rossman may get splashed. Yeah, that Fox is not on Rossman. That's on Master Mark II, though. In fact, Rossman may come away okay here if he gets a Fox on Maru quickly. Miro gets the missile, heading for Rossman. This is trouble. 2 missiles on Rossman, or else latency. So the big hitter for the 343rd are down. That's 2 aircraft in quick successions. That's 6 on 4 now. While we have Miru on the eastern flank, 4 miles out, this is very dangerous now for the 343rd.
Miru's hot again. That's. There's 3 missiles.
Unamuske has just foxed everything. And eaten an Amram for the trouble. Oh, we're gonna get blue on blue? No, Maru is good. So that's 3 left from the 343rd. 6 still in play on the 14th. They're returning Amrams. This is about 5 miles. These are all dangerous. Kraut is in trouble. The 343rd really need one of these to hit.
See, they're getting pressed from everywhere now. Look at that.
I think Kraut is okay, but
Master's in trouble.
Master's in trouble. Master's splashed. Sorry, Fox 9 is going to get splashed. That's 2 down, quick succession. So we are down to a, what, 6 on 1?
It's just a 6 on 1, yeah.
This is quite an impressive round from the 14th. I think it's all just happened in quick succession, but there's going to be a lot to talk through in a couple of minutes' time. And I think this is a Fox that will end at Nazgul. That's about 4 miles on Katanak. Nope, it's gone over. Good notch. 2 more to deal with while Nazgul still presses hot. I think we're just going to ride along with.
He's merged now, just 1 mile.
I think the Amram will get him.
Don't worry about friendly fire now.
Alright, that is a merge. Well, the rest of the 14th are only a few miles apart. Oh, here come the cavalry. Mad Dog everything. You've got 1 Amram left, 2 Amrams left. Just fire.
Oh, that was a friendly fire from Kraut.
Oh! And there goes Katanak. So that looks like we have 4 left on the 14th. So did Katanak get a kill just in the end? Yeah, killed Cookie just before that team kill and just before being killed himself. So Kandak took one with them. '64th Rage is impressed with the use of tactical blob. I quite like that phrase myself, Octuple.
Yep.
So, what the hell did we just watch? That was a one-sided round that happened very quickly.
Yeah, that was. I think that was just the pure aggressiveness of the 14th. We were saying about double use of AMRAMs, but I think it definitely paid off there.
Yeah, I'm just going through. Go ahead.
I was going to say I don't think the 343rd really had time to reset and recommit.
Yeah, I'm just going through the aircraft. I see one AMRAM left on Falcon and Kraut, 2 on single shot, and Miru is Winchester. So this is what our good friend Bullet likes to describe as fangs out, and the 14th this round were fangs out. Pyroscott coming in chat saying, "Holy shit, guys, that was brutal." Yeah, that was brutal. That was just, we're coming in and we're not giving up.
Yeah, interestingly, they actually it's a very similar to what happened last round. They used the mountains on the east and they actually got around them and caused a bit of a pincer.
Yeah, I thought there was a nice element with the 343rd where the first 3 were turning cold as the second 3 came in hot and turned into that tactical blob. But the 14th just spread wide, and they cast the net wide. You had the eastern element then collapsing in, and the western element, I think it might have been Cookie over there, bringing it in. So they got pincered hard, and then they had nowhere to run.
Oh yes, I'm just going over my notes, just seeing who killed who. It's like forgive order, but Maru got a couple of kills. He killed Rossman. That was early game, I remember.
Yeah,
so that was
a big kill to get early.
Yeah.
Their heavy hitter from the first round.
You also got Unamusuke. I said that right.
You did. Congrats.
We had Nazgul with a kill on Vita. Just looking through. Cookie also killed Master. I think that was early game again. A little fortunate friendly fire from Kraut on Nazgul in that final little bit of chaos there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the scoreboard with Kraut with -1. I imagine there will be some jovial remarks in their comms right now.
Yeah, and then we obviously had the exchange. Katanak managed to get that one kill on Cookie just as he got taken out by Falcon. So yeah, very one-sided. The only loss was from friendly fire, with the exception of Katanak at the end.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was the only kill that the 343rd got, and they had an unfortunate maneuver death on their side as well. And it just seemed to fall apart very quickly for them. A couple of big kills in quick succession, and the terrain advantage of the positioning is what I'm trying to say. The 14th were far and wide, encircling them.
Yeah, that terrain actually does play a big factor in this.
So the lead element of the 14th, I think they're trying to form up. I would love to see a formation landing or some sort of a formation overhead here. 26 miles to Al-Ain. They should have no issues with fuel. This has been a very quick round. And here are 2. Well, one of them is warping all over the sky, so I'm going to say that's Miru.
Yeah, I'm not sure where single shot's going. I'm not sure if he's a bit lost. Whether he dropped something back there.
Yeah, no center line paid off, said Av1. Faster and more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
And 64th Rage as well, commenting that liked how the 14th were very wide, which is what we were just talking about. I think that really gave them that position again to press it.
Yeah.
And
again, I can't remember which match I saw the other day. I think Tricker was hosting, but they had a very similar spread, but it just didn't pay off against this tactical blob. It was weird. I think they were too far spread, and they weren't in a position to support each other. Where these guys were only about 5-10 miles from each other.
yeah, and that is a big factor. All right, I think this is something Tricker and I were talking about last weekend, watching Oh, I'm gonna have to remember now. SPQR
Yeah.
were playing PTF, that's who it was. And there was always
Yeah.
a Tomcat a long, long way away from anyone to actually do support.
Yeah, I think it was actually that match I'm referring to. So just nowhere near. It looked great on the map, but again, when it came down to throwing missiles at each other, it's just why are you so far away? Single shot finally realised he's going the wrong way.
Need to see where was single shot going. I mean, with 4 aircraft left, barring some sort of calamitous mid-air, they're okay. But with Miru's connectivity and warping, you never know, do you?
No, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the Tacview after this. See if warping did play a factor.
Yes, indeed.
But as far as I saw there, I didn't see any issues. No dodgy misses or.
Yeah, I just don't understand what's going on with Miru. Must be a dodgy connection. I mean, the latency is 180, but that's okay given most of the 343rd are 280, 290, and they're not warping around like this.
We're into a nice overhead.
Yep. Miru is high and braking. Kind of conflicting here with Kraut underneath. There's Miru in a brake to the right. Followed by Kraut. I imagine the 14th will be on quite a high after that, whereas the 343rd are probably glad of this little intermission to regroup.
Yeah. Interesting to see how it plays out next round, because that's one all each way, isn't it? So going into the third round.
Yeah, as soon as we get wheels on deck from one of these 14th, that will be round confirmed. And that will tie the match up as 1 apiece. I'm going to stick with Kraut here for the landing because Miru is just jumping all over the sky. Oh, we do have Falcon on deck. I did miss this. Falcon was in the lead, but I jumped to the rear. So that is wheels on deck, 14th. Have it. Not that there was much doubt about that. So how do you think the 343rd can recover from this now in the next round? What do you think they need to do?
Well, I was just thinking how I'd play this from each one. 343rd, maybe stick with the same route, try and use that terrain. And I was just thinking that from the side of the 14th, I'd probably try and drag them out of their mountains, go feet wet. Even maybe go so far as to try and get around them. If they're going to stick to the mountains, get north of them, get back down on them, use the map.
Yeah, remember now that the map will flip again, so the 343rd will be back at Ketchum, and the 14th will be here at Alain. So it'll be interesting, I think, to see if the 343rd will stick with those initial tactics. That is Kraut on deck there, with I think Miru coming into land behind. That's not bad camera work, if I say so myself. Big aero braking, I think, coming from Miru there. So single shot, I believe, is still in the air, so this should buy a little more time for the 343rd to regroup. How far out is single shot? Has single shot
It's
gotten
in
down?
the breakdown.
Right, let's watch this landing. It was interesting to see. I'm just trying to think over the round here and tease out again what we just saw. From the 343rd side, they stuck with the same two elements of 3 aircraft. and they tracked over east again towards the hills. But they just weren't in a good position to utilize that kind of terrain. You know, whereas the 14th mostly ignored the terrain there, but kind of went far and wide.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that initial engagement on the east. I think it was essentially 2-on-2, and the 14th guys dropped low using the mountains and just kind of kept pressing hot. And obviously ducking down, and eventually we got down to, I think, I can't remember how far it was, like less than 10 miles. They paid off, 14th got the kill, and that's allowed them to push into the rest of the group, essentially encircling them.
Yeah, whereas I think it's funny because, you know, we saw the 14th in the first round adopt that same kind of line where they had everybody in the three ships or the three elements of two ship in their relative spreads, but they still ended up kind of getting encircled by the 343rd when Echo's Sorry Fox 9 pushed down that eastern side. And you similarly had that kind of almost western flank in as well. Yeah, we didn't see such a wide kind of spacing. I think it must have been those early kills. Like, we've seen it a couple of times in TACT so far where, for example, it's usually a long-range Phoenix kills somebody, and, you know, that can be a massive loss and throws the game plan out the window. Yeah,
definitely. I was just going to say maybe the 343rd should have gone a bit more aggressive, because it was the last one to go down there. I can't remember who it was, but it was the essentially 6-on-1. He still had 4 AMRAAMs left, but he just couldn't get hot to use them.
Yeah, the missile economy had no factor in this round. Well, that is everybody on the 14th on deck, so I suspect the server will be going in a moment. So while we wait for that restart, the match is tied now, 1 apiece. So that was the end of round 2 Camper FX, and the 15th, I was reading Aerospace Professionals match, so the 14th won that round with 4 aircraft recovered. First round, the 343rd recovered 3, if I remember that correctly, 2 Hornets and a Viper.
Yep, I believe that's right.
So I think the server has just gone down. So let's take a quick break while we wait for that. Let's collectively get our breath back and figure out what's going to happen for this third and final round of the 343rd versus the 14th.
Incoming transmission.
And we are back, folks. Round 3 is about to kick off in the next couple of minutes. We have another change for the 343rd. That is third with a H, Aerospace Professional, not a third. I see Cyber, if I'm getting that correctly, 3916 in a Hornet has joined the shenanigans. I'm not sure who has dropped off there, though. Can you check the last roster out, people?
Yeah, assuming it's Vita at the minute.
That sounds about right. So in
Making my notes.
Sure, in the interests of giving everybody their fair shout, let's find Cyber here. In the Japanese Hornet livery. Cyber is in Japan, like the rest of the squadron. Hometown is Yokohama. And the fun fact for Cyber is a Master of Brain Science. Which is an impressive statement. Not entirely sure what it means. Is that some sort of medical professional, or just, you know, something else? I just realised that the actual DCS stream wasn't on while I was saying that, so apologies, stream folks. I was pointing out this lovely Japanese livery on the Hornet, the 343rd Squadron livery. This is round 3 of TACT 21.2, third weekend. This is the 343rd Naval Air Group versus the 14th VFS Samurais. First round went to the 343rd, second round went to the 14th, and we are tied, one apiece. So I'm seeing 6 aircraft from the 343rd on the runway at Keshem. Having a look down here to Align. I'm never sure what the correct pronunciation is of this airbase. Is it Align? Is it Align? What I have noticed, though, is that the 14th folks who are here have all selected their aggressor liveries. I was looking through the 14th liveries earlier after loading them up, and they each have, I think, a custom aggressor per pilot. So they choose which kind of aggressor they want to go with. It's kind of a cool thing. I'm rocking this, or digging this one here in the middle. This kind of a white, grey, black. Followed closely by this splinter-esque woodland. That's pretty cool. That's the one in the foreground here. There's something very Russian about these bluer ones. Okay, still only seeing 5 jets from the 14th. We have the 6 from the 343rd still there. Notably again, pings unfortunately from Japan to, I believe the servers are in Finland. That's at least what the DCS multiplayer screen was telling us. Rather high, but that is geography unfortunately. Yeah, I don't see Miru connected up, people. I wonder, has connectivity become a factor?
Yeah, that's who I'm missing. I've noticed the 343rd guys have got another Hornet now. Only Katnick in a single F-16 on their team.
Roger. It's just been pointed out to me that Cookie's aggressor livery has Cookie Monster on the helmet of the pilot, and now I can't stop noticing it. It's fantastic. Doing a quick scan along here, everything looks standard, what we've seen from the other rounds from the 14th. 6 AMRAAMs, no Sidewinders, no TGP, 2 bags. Worked well from them the last one, but it feels like a high-risk gambit somehow. It's either it will work spectacularly, but if it doesn't work early like it did in the last round, you know, the long game as it is a disadvantage. Might be interpolating a little bit too much there. But we will see. We will see. Certainly in the first round, I think the liberal use of AMRAAMs got away from them a little bit. I'm being corrected, not even corrected, but informed in chat that all of the 14th deliveries have custom helmets. Let's have a little quick jump through them over here. We're still waiting. 343rd have declared ready. Miru has finally connected to the server. We're looking at single shot with a Tiger, I think, on the helmet. That looks like a Russian flag on Falcons. Kraut has a very German coloured livery, although I'm missing the black there. It's pretty cool though. And I've missed one. This awesome black and white aggressor with, again, a kind of a tiger stripe helmet. It's pretty cool. Love the custom patch there. Alright, 343rd are ready. Miru has connected. We're just waiting on the 14th to declare ready. Feels like a slightly early ready declaration on the basis of that refuel bug we were talking about. Although the Viper has 3 bags there. We've got an ugly configuration again here. From somebody, if I can scroll to them very, very quickly. Master Mark II rocking the ugly again. Cyber 3 bags on the Tomcat. And the other 2 behind, Starry Fox 9, and whomever is behind there, Unamuske. I have to think about that again. 3 bags, and 6 AMRAMs, 2 Sidewinders each. Pretty standard Hornet configuration. So far in TACT, I think we've only seen one Viper use a TGP in the rounds that we've seen thus far. I'm trying to think who it was now. I think it was a PTF player last weekend. I think it might also have been someone called Falcon. I'm very much open to correction there. Do you recall, Octuple?
Sorry, I missed that because I was just going through the what everyone's actually got loaded weapon-wise.
Sure. I was just saying, I think I've only seen one Viper in the competition so far use a TGP, and that was last weekend. I couldn't recall fully who it was. I thought it was someone called Falcon.
I can't remember either. I do remember watching it again though. I think, is this the one you streamed with Tricker?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it in any other of the matches, and I know Low Blow has commented on it a number of times about being surprised not seeing it used. I'm not sure that in fact gave much of an advantage. I think Falcon died in all of the rounds, if it was Falcon indeed.
I was going to say, I thought it like gave you some sort of G limitation.
Yeah, that's my impression too. So we're seeing the 14th take the runway now. We're going to ride along, to use Low Blow's term, with Falcon. So they should be declaring ready shortly. The 343rd have declared not ready while they did that Viper refuel, which was a good move, given what we talked about in terms of drinking fuel from the bags without being able to top it off. Little wiggle of the elevators there. Okay, just waiting for the 343rd to give a ready, and then we are live with round 3. It's the final round, so there is still obviously a chance this could end in a draw. Remember that the winning team has to make it back to the opposing team's airfield, and a long drawn-out battle can result in it not happening. I think of the 6 matches that have completed so far, we've seen it happen in 1 round, which, if I remember correctly, was One Trick Pony against the 64th Aggressors, where One Trick Pony won the round and sadly did not make it home, so the round was then technically a draw. 64th went on, I believe, and we're correct in saying, to win the remaining 2 rounds of that. Very, very entertaining match that. If you didn't get a chance to see that, I highly recommend checking it out. In fact, I think all of the matches so far in TACT are worth watching back on the VODs. You'll see them on Tricker's channel, Low Blow's channel, and Misi's channel. I think those are the ones that have happened thus far. Just put that in chat to be clear that I'm not the hold up here. 343rd are ready. Okay, let's get this show on the proverbial road. Fourteenth are powering up. Rolling in that same shotgun, I think. Can you check Octuple? Is this Kraut on the left of Falcon's Wing?
Yeah, stand by. Oh, looking at the wrong group, sorry.
So, front element, number 2 position.
Yes, crowd with Falcon.
Lovely formation takeoff here again.
Followed up by Maru and Nazgul, and single shot and cookie.
That's very tidy. I love to see that. Just a little bits of airmanship like that, I think. Ooh, as Kraut gets a little wobbly.
Right now we've got the first group from the 343rd guys up.
Yep, 5 miles out of Kesham. I'm going to watch the second group take off. These first group are in a climb again. Alright, second group is about 7 miles now, so I think they'll be rolling shortly. Let's sit along with Cyber and hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Alright, we've got the 16s gathering up with a nice little
This looks like
formation again.
this looks like a change for the Hornet strategy. We've got Cyber rolling by himself. Well, maybe it's just a shotgun for the remaining 2 who I think are rolling in the back. Thank you to ECV56 Gandalf and Captain Barbarossa for the follows. Welcome along. Hope you're enjoying the stream and the match. That is all of the 343rd Airborne. Now I want to catch this break from
You've already
the
missed
Vipers. God damn
I was
it.
about to say it.
Well, we'll get an element of it.
Yeah, they're only in formation for about 10-15 seconds before they break.
Yeah, I did want to make sure I caught a takeoff from both sides there. So the second element of the 343rd are going to work as a 3 by the looks of it at the moment. We have a tidy little grouping here between Rossman, whoever's on the left, and a wide take from the rightmost Viper. DCS really does look beautiful these days, doesn't it?
Yeah, so if you don't left them most of the time, we've got clouds on.
Yeah, I think deliberately there is no weather in this competition just to give all the rounds and all the different terrains a fair shout.
So that's the centre line tanks being punched by the 343rd guys. Rossman and F-16, I forget his name. Katanak.
Yeah, that's Master Mark II on the side, who has punched 1 bag from the wing, running the ugly configuration.
Without retrimming.
14th are adopting the pretty much standard what we've seen from them now in the first 2 rounds. 3 groups of 2 ship in about a 10-mile spread at the moment. I expect that to open up a little bit more, but at the moment they're only about 5 miles between each element. Let's have a look. They've entered the bubble, 24,000 feet from the right group, 30,000 feet from the middle, 30,000 feet from the left group, and they're all about 650 across the ground, 700 on the right group. On the east, there's the 343rd entering the bubble, 30,000 feet, about 600 knots across the ground. Trailing group, 25,000, they're climbing up as well. I suspect we will see at least 1 long-range Fox 3 here. It'd be a pity not to use that energy with at least 1 missile.
Oh, Nice to see the 14th. They're going straight up the centre.
Yeah, avoiding the hills entirely, I think.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether they're going to get dragged in again, or they're going to try and stay out in the open, or even commit into the mountains.
Yeah, it looks like the 343rd are adopting their tactic from the first round again. It will be very interesting to see just what happens in these next few minutes, because right now this is shaping up from a position point of view to be almost identical to the first round. You know, obviously it will probably play out quite differently, but right now they're sticking to the tactics.
Yeah.
Scorpion Gaming 2000, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. It's nice to see this in the stream chat, by the way, people rooting for both sides there. There's a lot of cheering going on. Alright, we are 62 miles between the first group of the 343rd and that easternmost group of the 14th. That is Cookie and Single Shot up at 38,000 feet.
Interestingly, yeah, the 14th guys have actually just come left a little bit, so they are going to the coast, so I wonder if they are going to try and drag them out the mountains a little bit.
I think that's actually quite smart. This is the first change we've seen now from that opening round, and in fact already the 343rd have stopped their press into the hills, and they're now tracking along the western edge of the hills, north of Ras Al Ghul. I will die on this hill, it is called Ras Al Ghul. Yeah, I think this is actually quite clever from the 14th. The hills did not work to their advantage in that first round, so they're changing something here, which is good. If they can get them in the open, and then repeat what they did in the second round, I think that will play to their favour.
Yeah, so they've shifted massively left, so playing it like I would. I was hoping they would.
Yeah.
So I was worried that they'll just keep pressing into them, and then the 343rd guys will still have that mountain to fall back into.
Exactly. I think they'll end up falling back towards the hill, but we'll see what happens with the 14th in terms of, you know, whether they follow them. Now, 43 miles between the 343rd and the 14th. What's interesting to me here is that it's about 43 miles to all of the 14th, whereas, you know, the second element, they're 15 miles behind the 343rd. I think this is the first match I've seen a squadron adopt that tactic so rigorously. Usually you'd have them spread out in a line rather than such a prominent trail. There's a fox. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this might be the issue why the 14th seem a bit more aggressive with their missiles, because they're all within that range.
And a return shot from Rossman. So 2 AMRAAMs out from Miru and Nazgul. Both pretty high, they're immediately into the crank. Miru is descending, preempting a return AMRAAM, that is good flying. Rossman, I don't know who this is going for, there's a group of 3 down here, but the line looks like it's tracking Cookie, if I were to guess right now. Rossman may have an AMRAAM coming for him. It's only 12 miles away, 8 miles from the first one, I don't know who that's targeting. This could be dangerous. Katanak is down at 10,000 feet, so there's a little bit of defense there. Rossman is too.
Yeah, that AMRAAM's coming down on him though, isn't it?
It is. I mean,
I think
he should be able to defeat it since he descended and has turned out, but stranger things have happened, DCS.
Yeah.
That's defeated. Rossman has turned cold. That's defeated. Rossman's shots are also being trashed. So I'm counting, I think, 3, maybe 4 AMRAAMs from the 14th, 2 from the 343rd, or the 5th one coming from the 14th, and a Kraut has foxed. And that looks to be probably a fox on the hot group at the back. The back. 26 miles. Starry Fox 9 and 13,000 feet. Cyber 15,000. They've come down. They were high. I'm kind of surprised by that. I don't think they had a reason to come down, and some high altitude shots might have been useful.
Saying the previous matches, they all seem to, after that initial engagement, get low, below 10,000, and they stay there.
Yeah, I mean,
never seen really anyone come back up.
There is a dangerous fox on the coast from Miru on Unamusuke. Again, I had to think about that. In the crank. That's probably a cheap shot, I want to say. I think the incoming AMRAAM has pushed that short. That's tracking Miru. That was probably over 10 miles, so this could do something. Lots of missiles being engaged over Ras Al Ghul. And slowly the 343rd are dragging them towards the hills, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if they can get Cookie and single shot to push up, they can actually stop them dropping in so you can get high.
Yeah, I think Cookie is deliberately flanking there in the east, and if you look on the west, Nazgul and Miru, the line here is 30 miles across, but everybody is within a decent support of each other. Whereas we've got a tactical blob going on again here, and Master Mark II is going to walk into a world of hurt. Falcon is only 6 miles away. Master Mark II is 11,000 feet, 9,000 feet on Falcon. Here's a shot on Cookie. Falcon doesn't see Master, Master doesn't see Falcon. Not Rossman, Cyber is hot. None of these missiles at the moment seem to be having any hope of hitting. Very surprised, actually. There's a lot of missiles in the air and not a whole lot of
6
danger.
mile exchange from Maru and Umasuki.
Roger, seen that.
Did we just lose? No, sorry, that's a missile fading.
There's a lot to kind of keep up on here at the
Yeah,
moment. I think that's defended from Miru, that's trashed. The return shot on Unamuske is dangerous, but I think is okay. Cantenac slightly in trouble against Nazgul if it doesn't see, but I think Cantenac does see. Starry Fox 9 with a Fox 3. 8 mile single shot, turning cold 7,000. Missile chasing. There's a Fox coming on Starry. Might be tracking Master. It's missed Master. It's on Starry, I think. Let's watch this. There's there's Starry on the 1 o'clock. Brake to the right, accelerate, that's defeated. Good flying from Starry Fox 9. Another engagement over Raz. Falcon has defeated what was Foxed. I'm starting to get concerned about missile numbers here.
Trying to go through, there's not a lot. They've all fired 1 or 2 now.
Oh, dangerous 5 mile shots on the west. Unamuske against Miru. Miru's 6,000 feet defending. Amram is flying, passing under, trying to pull up. Splash! No!
Right, so up.
Miru is still up. Oh, that'll be an interesting one for Tacview. I'm pretty sure that was a hit.
We just lost someone.
There's a 14th I'm missing.
Yeah, I'm missing him as well.
Cyber and Hornet killed Kraut.
Ah.
Oh, Unamuske and Nazgul 2 miles apart. If Unamuske sees Nazgul, danger, Fox out. Miru hot, 7 miles. I think that's tracking Miru. Another Fox from Cantenac on Nazgul. Nazgul's in trouble. That's a splash.
Yeah, this goes down. Might get one to return.
Miru has avoided. Unamuske is splashed. I think Cantenac crashed. I think there was a maneuver kill there defending. Miru has effectively taken out 2 343rd at the loss of 114th. So shit is getting real. Rossman 2v1, 2v2 on the east. Amram being exchanged between Master Mark II and Cookie. That's about 6 miles apart. They're both, I want to say, low. That's 2,000 feet on Cookie, 2,000 Master. I think they're okay. Let's watch Rossman. Rossman's in trouble. I mean, that's good 15 miles to the next friendly. Rossman needs to...
He's in trouble as well because he's only got the one Amram left.
Yeah,
Although Maru's not got any.
first.
Maru's pushing, but he's got nothing to push with.
Okay, don't turn left, don't turn left. If you do, pull high, pull high. Okay, I think Rossman's okay. Maru is closing. That's 3 miles, and Winchester. So Rossman needs friends here.
Oh no,
We've
there's
lost
a team
someone on
kill
the
there.
coast.
Yeah, Master accidentally team killed Starry.
Starry Fox 9 is dead to a team kill, but we've lost a 14th as well, I think. Single shot crashed. Got killed by Cyber. It's all happening now. So we are down to 3 14th versus 2 3 43rd. Can you give me an inventory on the 3 43rd there while Rossman foxes on Cookie?
Yep, that is Rossman's last missile, with the exception of the AIM-9s.
Master Mark II with a Fox on Falcon. This is dangerous. Falcon was a little bit high. Cookie has defeated Rossman's missile.
Master's
This
only
has
got
been
the
trashed.
one
Into the
Amram
dirt it
left.
goes. Falcon is clear. Master Mark II in trouble with Maru. Master has 2 Sidewinders. That's it. Maru has guns. Oh, there's an AMRAAM. Didn't see that. Maru's in trouble.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh,
that should be a splash,
far.
but wasn't.
yeah. Was it the same?
Really?
Probably a bit decent when
thought,
you play.
yeah, I thought that hit.
What the Amram onto Rossman? It's dangerous.
Ooh, notched. If Rossman can turn in behind, I think he's doing it. Here's a 9M. Not sure that was a good Fox.
Oh yeah.
No, that's tracking the sky.
So Mass is hot. He's still got aim 9s left, I believe.
There's
Yeah,
the Fox
there's one
2. And a splash,
Maru's
finally!
down.
Maru eats it. 2 AMRAAMs and a Sidewinder later, we're down to a 2v2. Rossman has 1 Sidewinder. Master has 1 Sidewinder. Cookie has guns, I think, and Falcon has 2 AMRAAMs. So, technically, the 14th have the advantage. I expect a Fox 3 coming from Falcon here, 6 miles. Master Mark II at 5,000 feet. 3,000 feet, there is the Fox 3. Don't get in the way, Cookie. And an M9 in
Aim
return.
9.
That's going to be defeated. And a splash. 2v1, 9M going on to Cookie, maybe? That was 4-mile shot. Rossman is not getting good ton. I think each of these Sidewinders I've seen come off have been dumb. And this is going to be a merge. Probable Fox 3. Oh,
That's very
what a
close.
terrible Fox. We've got a merge. Hornet v Viper. And this other Hornet is coming in. Sorry, other Viper is coming in, Cookie. So in the first round, we saw Rossman coming into the merges with the guns, getting kills. Will Cookie do the same? Oh, they hit each other! In mid-air, they were both target fixated. Oh, that is unfortunate.
So, the lone survivor Cookie needs to make it back to is it Alain he took off?
No, I think
Yeah,
it's
like-
Keshem they need to go to. 70 miles from Keshem. So Cookie is immediately turning. Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for the 343rd. I think there was
Yeah.
an opportunity there, even if Rossman was going to lose the 2v1, to have kind of played for a stalemate and hoped to run them out of gas. But I think was just going for it. Fangs out. Let's use Bullet's term again.
Yeah, I need to look back through the logs here because I don't know what happened to Single Shot.
I think Single Shot got killed. I was looking at the chat logs because Single Shot dropped off that eastern side for me. Single Shot was killed by Cyber with an AMRAAM. So Cookie is the sole survivor, 6,000 feet and ascending. We have no ordnance on board to jettison. Whew, that was something.
Yes. I just need to slow it down to keep up with everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to watch back those 2 AMRAAMs on Miru. I don't know how much of an impact it had on the final result or not, but I'm pretty sure I saw 2 AMRAAMs hit. Now, we have seen that
Yes.
before. I think we saw it last week with SPQR and PTF. The name of the pilot will come back to me. Was it Ali? I don't know. Eat an AMRAAM on the Tacview, eat an AMRAAM on the stream from 2 of our perspectives, but netcode said no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
certainly-
interesting to see. Well, as I say, it's not ideal, especially with the pings as what they were.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the 343rd suffered way more than the 14th in terms of ping. Now, okay, maybe if you're the one, if the 343rd are the ones defending, ping will probably come into that, but once they fire the missile, the server's taking over there.
Yeah.
What the server sees and what the server says is what DCS will do.
I think you were watching it. I watched the at least the second hit, and he looked smooth, so I can't really argue with his ping.
Yeah, I didn't see the same warping in this round, to be fair, that I did in the first and second. So that's it. We'll see in the TACT view. It will be interesting to watch. It will take a few minutes to download, but I would like to actually download them and stream a quick overview of it, see what happened. That's usually an interesting thing to do. Cookie is 42 nautical miles out from Kesham at 10,000 feet, so is still ascending. Is at Buster, 101% RPM, so I'm guessing doesn't have fuel concerns. It felt like a longer round than the second, but not quite as long as the first.
No, I don't think you'll have any issues with fuel.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I'm just taking a breath trying to just figure out what happened. Like, the 14th, again, were quite impressive in my mind at spreading out a line. You know, they had friendlies within kind of 10 miles of each other a whole way along the front, and they slowly wrapped that around. We saw the 343rd retreat back towards the hills again, and it just had a lot happen at once as the ranges collapsed down. Once we started getting into that 10-mile territory on the west coast, kind of west of Raz, and then on the east by the concrete factory. Is that the concrete factory? Might be. Just stuff started happening all at once. We had a few people go into the ground, which is always unfortunate. Am I right in saying, Octuple, there were no disconnects during the round this time?
No, it was just that first round that I saw.
Yeah, so this was, other than, you know, maneuver kills, this was an even fight in that regard. So, yeah, it was good. I'll be curious again with the Tacview, like we saw during the the live run as they came in. That second 343rd element, they were high during the transit, but after coming down, or after entering the fight, they descended. They were down at like 10,000-15,000 feet. They just gave up so much energy and so much range for their AMRAAMs. It was surprising.
Yeah, surprised that's a tactic they didn't really utilise, seeing as they had so many. I would have thought the 334 or 343rd guys would use that chance to reset with the 3 ships going hot at different times.
Yeah, like with the first group running cold, that's a great opportunity for the second group, if they're high, to get a long-range Fox 3 in on the, the 14th guys chasing, if you like. Don't spend lots of missiles at it, but it's worth a shot or two.
I'll say I think the 14th tactic paid off of flanking to the west a bit.
Yeah, they really did break up the lines, and we saw Rossman get completely isolated in the end. Can't help but feel that, again, Rossman's Fox 2s, every 9M shot was a little bit, well, it went dumb, so yeah. I don't think it was ever, a danger to anyone. Except the squirrels. 13 miles for Cookie now. Cookie is descending through 10,000, so this should be a safe landing. Remember that...
Sorry, I was going to say, with that little flank to the west, the 14th did. The 343rd were over, not in the mountains. They're on the west side of them. It was almost as if they got their backs pushed up against the mountains. It actually looked like it became a hindrance.
Yeah, it's interesting that. I was just going to say, remember that Cookie needs to successfully land here for the round 2 count. Cookie has eyes on Kesham Airfield on 1 o'clock. I don't think there should be any issue there. Falcon, thank you for the raid for the party of 14? No, 14th Falcon with 11. That was a very intense couple of rounds from you guys in the 14th Falcon. Very well done. It'll be interesting now again to watch through and analyse a little bit. It's a bit of a contrast to the first, so yeah, whatever you guys did after that first round, whatever talk you had, or things he came up with, definitely worked. So well done. And thank you too to everybody taking clips here of the goings on. Clips are very much a thing I like on my Twitch channel because they feed into an awesome montage I normally use before the stream and during little breaks. So it looks like Cookie's in an idle, 280 knots. I'm going to cross the ground now, that was indicated, so this is what, about 3 miles coming into Kesham. Should be no bother. Gear is out, brakes are out. Not going in for an overhead. Play it safe, just go in. Well, tweaking the brakes slightly. Thank you to Falcon for the follow, and to Scorp Gaming 2K. You're all welcome along. It's brilliant to see so many people along actually watching the match. I think this is possibly the most I've ever had on my channel, so you're all very welcome. So with this landing, this should bring this battle to a close and give the 14th their second round, or their second win. That'll be 2-1 soon as Cookie successfully touches down. Remember, we have more TACT matches coming up over the weekend. I'm streaming tomorrow the number 15 Battle Axes versus Outer Heaven, and let's just watch this touchdown. Right on the tire marks. Nice and smooth, and there is the win.
Yeah, it's very nicely done.
That was not the button I was looking for. Alright, just updating the scoreboard. 2-1 for the 14th. And of course we have a second TACT match tomorrow evening. The first one that I'm streaming, just for time reference, is at 1700 Zulu. Mr. Loblo will be streaming the third match of the weekend, which will be Taw versus Harpia, at 1900 Zulu tomorrow evening. So, thankfully, we don't actually have two matches at once, which is nice, because it's nice to watch them live. So congratulations to the 14th. Pretty impressive showing in round 2 in particular, but a close fight at the end, I think it has to be said, for the last round here. Rossman, I think, got unlucky with that midair. I think the 2v1 advantage probably would have come home to roost either way, but you never know with these things. Right, well, we just wait for Cookie to taxi out, then the server will come down, and I will put up a hold again for a couple of minutes while I try and sort out some Tacviews. So have a quick look through them. Don't want to spend too long or overanalyze too much, but I think it's a nice thing to look back on what we've seen and take a bit of a breath with them. Okay, so I think the first round Tacview is already available, so I'm going to grab that. At least I think that's the first round. No, that does not look like... That does not look like the right thing I'm looking for. Yes, I'm in the wrong link, that's why. Okay, so we've got round 1 and 2 available, let's get them downloaded. Okay, just take a moment, folks, to get these in place. So we'll just leave that holding screen up. So that was a victory for the 14th, 2 rounds to 1 against the 343rd. Server will be going down in a couple of minutes, and then we'll see the 3rd TACT view available. I seem to be having an issue actually getting these TACT views to download. Not ideal. Oh, that is the server down. 3rd TACT view should be becoming available. But if we can't get them, we can't watch them.
Incoming transmission.
CRO Aries, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. Sit tight, folks. I think I will have a way of doing this in just a moment. For whatever reason, the file host for these things is not playing ball at downloading them one by one. However, downloading them all does seem to work. Full Metal Cookie. Thanks for the follow. Is that 14th cookie by chance? Let's catch up on chat a little bit there. Bullet, thanks for taking the time to stream. You are welcome. Gamma, good stream. More. There will be more tomorrow. There may even be some more of a different sort this evening. Keep your eyes peeled. There is an event being run, and I may end up streaming it later. If so, it will be in a few hours' time. Falcon, thanks for the stream. Miru, thanks for the stream. You're all welcome. And Borchi bringing the server down now. Excellent. Alright, that should be the download complete. I don't know why it has been such a pain, but it has. Okay, I got 3 TACT views here, so this is a good sign. Still with me, Octuple?
I am indeed.
Alrighty. Now, we need to figure out a way for you to see this TACT view with me.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
we
try
hope so.
to... What will I try to? I will share a screen with you, sir. That'll probably be the best way of doing this. Okay, can you hear me? Can you see the...
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see the view yet? Alright, let's get stream updated then to see the view. Alright, we are still on 30-second delay because killing that would require taking the stream down and starting it up again. This should be round 1. Confirm for me, if you would, sir, that you can see everything moving about there.
Right, I have lost comms with you. I can't actually hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, that's just a Discord-y thing. I need to start a direct call with you in order to share the screen. That obviously took us out of the channel. I thought it was going to double transmit, so I ended up muting the call. That was it. Alright, so you can hear me and you can see Tacview, yes?
I can. Yes.
Excellent. Alrighty.
This.
So, let's run this thing forward. So, we're following the 14th coming out of Alain again, like we saw in the battle. They take up that standard spread that we saw. And I think there's a good contrast immediately to what we just saw in the third round, which was exactly what you commented. They pulled over to the east in this first round and made the terrain part of the play.
The one to watch on this one is Rossman. He's the one that dropped 4 of the 14th guys on this.
Yes, indeed. So that first Fox from Falcon was coming in. But Rossman expected it, I think. Got 5 mauls, turns. But because of the ranges, it was pretty low PK. Similarly, Falcon defended one there. Vita, what looked like a pretty close missile, actually. I'm going to go back for that. Apologies, is there any other audio?
Dead was under him by that time. It turned cold, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a matter of feet, but you're right, it was already trashed. Papa no, 2 mile spacing on a Fox. Starry Fox 9. So this was what we were commenting in the first round, that the 14th were making liberal use of AMRAMs. And all that the 343rd had to do was basically turn cold at those ranges. And we've seen this a number of times in TACT so far, actually. I think SF doing it last weekend, perhaps, against somebody whose name I can't remember now offhand. Who did SF play? Oh, Lock on Greece. That's who it was.
Was this when Vita gets a little bit pincered?
Yeah, we've got missiles flying all over the place, but not many of them were dangerous. Starry Fox 9, I'm going to go back to here for a close Fox and a defense. It's like, there were a few moments of this, you can see it as I rewind, that Starry Fox 9 kind of had it defeated, but every turn was almost making it less defeated. It's like, oh, it's defeated, now I'll turn back in, and then finally I got into the hills. So Rossman in the middle, getting a Fox out on Cookie. Who was his first kill? Do you have that noted?
I don't have the kills. It was either Kraut or Falcon. I think Cookie actually disconnected at some point. I've a vague memory. I think Vita was the first one that died when he extended a bit too far south.
Yeah, and then we got single shot pressing in the middle. Kinda getting isolated. Starry Fox 9 with the Fox 3 again. On Kraut. Oh, it's close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
It's so many missiles, and like very few of them are getting close.
Yeah.
And here's Vita in the middle.
Yeah.
I can't get my Tacview to actually jump onto Vita there, so I'm going to rewind that. For whatever reason. Alright, let's slow this down for a moment.
Drop your flight instruments, I'm sure if you...
Yeah, just found himself in the open there. So I think what's interesting to me here, I'm just going to pause it for a second, is looking at the 14th's positioning. relative to the 343rd. I think we commented on this live that we saw Starry Fox 9 taking that wide flank. Now there's a pretty decent distance between Starry Fox 9 and there's friendly, if I can figure out how to work Tacview again. It's about 10 miles with that friendly being cold. Rossman is supporting 10 miles to the north, but kind of out there. You have Starry Fox 9 tracking a cold Kraut and a cold Falcon towards the rest of the 14th. Miru is turned hot about, what's that, 12 miles? So it's not a huge amount of distance, but what I'm kind of just pausing to point out on is you've got this line east to west on the 14th, whereas the 343rd line is more kind of southeast to northwest. And it's this pinch point on the east, I think, is the one that kind of gets hit. Or at least had the risk of. Let's roll that forward again. So a number of people in the middle, just coming hot. We were saying Maru turns in and Foxes. Here's the 343rds kind of collapsing in. Interestingly, it was the 14th with the tactical blob here.
Yep, I think that was the, I say Starry, and I think Vita was helping until we died. Actually pushing him out these low hills. Forcing him into that tactical blob. I think this is where Papa dies to a Falcon.
Yeah, just watching that AMRAAM. Oh, yeah.
It just catches him, yeah.
Kind of turned back into it a little bit. Miru dodged an AMRAAM there. I want to watch that again. Given the closeness of some of them we've seen. That's pretty wide off the mark, though, so I think that's fine. We got some more shots. This is a dangerous one coming in from our friend.
Yeah.
Starry Fox 9 eats it. I was very concerned here for the 343rd watching it when we had 14th left, and then the numbers were kind of collapsing down.
Yeah, that's when I missed Starry getting shot.
And there,
Yeah,
Musquet ties it up then. 3v3 was a good kill.
And this is where Rossman goes on his little rampage, I think.
AMRAAM, that was a pretty close range AMRAAM. It was like 4 or 5 miles. Looks like it is missed. I'll turn off these flight instruments. Where is the option for that?
It's along the bottom, I believe.
Not flight log.
See the little tabs at the bottom?
Yeah, which one is it?
Possibly the one with the plane symbol. I'm not sure if that's it. Or...
No.
I might be wrong. I
thought it was along the top. Right, display cockpit instruments.
I also believe this is the point where the 14th guys only had a single AMRAAM between the three of them.
I think you're right, yeah. This is where it suddenly shifted to being... Hang on, the 343rd can I have this? Oh, Miru and an AMRAAM there. I want to go back and watch that.
Yeah, that was lag. He seemed to be a bit wobbly, didn't he?
He was definitely wobbly. I remember seeing this. Like, let's just watch this actually slowly. Yeah, definite desync going on there. That is DCS. Doesn't take an awful lot. Here's an AMRAAM coming in from Rossman. Nails. Naz. And I think, was that the last? That was single shot with the single shot.
Yeah,
I think that was
a long shot.
Ill-advised shot. I just want to roll that back to see the numbers on it. This is what, 5,000 feet. Katanak is on the deck. It's a 10-mile shot. It's a crank shot. Add echoey trickery stuff there. And Katanak is in a left flank. That's an ill-advised shot in my book.
I would definitely be holding on to that.
Yeah, that was low Pika. Probability of kill for the uninitiated. And there's Rossman demonstrating lack of M9 locks again. Poor Rossman. Had a great round here, but had such terrible foxes with the Sidewinders. There's single shot pressing, and must be down to guns at this point. And that's when we got our merge. And Rossman, I think, comes in with the guns out of nowhere. Boom.
This one down.
I feel like we've missed a bunch of Rossman's kills, actually. Here's warping Miru everywhere, all over the... Look at this. I mean, this was horrible to watch live in, you know, external view, but this is... Catastrophic. Just watch.
Yeah,
I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm surprised he even got the kill there. I think it was the few seconds he settled. He actually managed to get the pipper on him.
Yeah, Rossman again with the guns kills. That was what? 2 guns kills for Rossman in this one?
Yep.
And 2 AMRAMs, presumably? Because
Yes.
the 9Ms did nothing. Alrighty, bear with. Let's get the second round up now that I actually have the Tacviews. Crankshot, says Kebab. It has become a meme, honestly. I don't know, Octuple, were you watching Tricker's stream?
I was not. This is going completely over my
Oh
head.
dear, it's a funny one. You'll have to watch back. Basically, he reeled for a random dude on, I think on the 104th or on the Growling Sidewinder. I think it was the 104th though, and he was making a big deal over firing Phoenixes on the gimbal limits as a crankshot. And this was, supposedly, top secret information. While Tricker streamed it live. So needless to say, all the 100 or so people in Tricker's stream were losing their shit at how funny this was. Kebab! Coming in with the sub, thank you, sir. Good evening to you, thank you for coming along. We are reviewing the 343rd versus 14th. Match has ended 2-1. In fact, I probably should have kept the scoreboard up on screen, but these are different DCS scenes, so just bear with me one moment. We got the technology. See, I made this easy on myself. I made it a scene by itself. A TACT scoreboard. There you go, stream. Alrighty, let's get the second one underway. I feel like that one was on a knife edge for a couple of minutes, where the 14th had numbers and then the 343rd managed to get some kills in and balance it up again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 14th got pushed into a tactical blob there.
I love that phrase. That is becoming a phrase, by the way.
It's funny. I've seen a few competitive scenes where it works weirdly. There's too much going on for the people who are pushing the tactical blob to actually fire on the correct threat, as it were.
Yeah, it's like when they're in that sort of a grouping, it's hard to pick out the right target. They're all kind of almost overlaying, hot, cold, different people, different altitudes.
You got 6 people doing 6 different things at once. It's
exactly, yeah.
hard for say, even though you've got it on your screen.
So as we were saying live in the stream, the 343rd going east again, mirroring what they did out of Kesham, trying to use the terrain, which was a great advantage to them, we felt, in the first round. 14th, setting up a big wall here, which, again, it was impressive to watch, and I think they worked far better in this round. I think, was it Falcon actually mentioned in stream chat? Let me go back and see it. I think it was basically that, fucked up our wall in the first round so badly, so, yeah. It was pivoted, I think. Let's just pause for a second. Slow this down and catch these first missiles.
Collapsed on the east, again, after that little push through the mountains from the I forget who it was, but
Starry Fox 9 in the first round?
Yeah, that was it, I believe.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got, again, 343rd with the lead 3 element, 3 at the back coming up. And as we were just saying during the stream, I think I'm right in saying this is the first squadron who has just used kind of a single vector with depth, rather than what this 14th are doing with kind of a width of aircraft. Most groups we're seeing will either have 3 elements of 2 or 2 elements of 3 and come in from 2 different vectors and keep a sort of a front. Whereas, it worked out in the first round, but I think this really was their undoing here. There's also a huge energy deficit. If we look at these first ones,
I
know they're defending.
The speed we mentioned, wasn't it? I think the 14th guys were doing over 800 ground speed, where the 343rd were doing 500. So missiles had a lot more energy.
Yeah, I just want to see at what point, because they all started high, right? So they're up at 30,000 and they're firing, you know, Fox 3s at 40 miles against 37,000, 34,000. I'd like for the 343rd here to be about 10,000 feet higher to give them, you know, proper...
Is that the Mac? So I'm just looking, is that the Mac numbers there?
To the right, yeah, so you have
1.15,
flight level and then Mach number. So
Yeah.
Falcon is fast! This is proper,
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
is
say,
proper
this is what we
Viper
saw,
territory. Like 34,000 feet, Mach 1.5. You've got Kraut on the left, 36,000 feet, Mach 1.4. Miru on the left again. They're playing the Viper game here, which is high and fast. Didn't work in the first round for them. You know, again, all those long-range missiles just ended up being a waste. I'm really curious to see where it broke down here for the 343rd, because in the first round, they kind of just turned cold and said, yeah, fine, we'll just defeat the missile and deal with you later. So I think it was an important fox from Rossmann, and I don't know if Rossmann put 2 out or if Una Musquet got 1 out too. But you got to get something out to push them down, right? Yeah, so there were 2 foxes there. Let's slow this down again. And they're immediately descending. Because they're wanting to get down to the thicker air, they're wanting to be ready to defend, but... Again, you're kind of down there, so second wave is at 30,000 feet at the back. What's that distance? About 11 miles. Speed that up a little. Those early foxes have done nothing in terms of killing, but have done their job in terms of pushing them down. Falcon with a fox in. Does this get Rossmann? Has he turned hot again?
Yeah, Rossmann did die early. I can't remember if
Yeah, the question is
it was
how
the
early.
first shot. I think it was this early. I think it was after the second little.
Yeah, so the first exchanges have done nothing but break up the lines, which is kind of what we expect, to be honest. Like, it's kind of rare for those to actually come off. You know, you might even say it's a 50-50. At best,
I believe there's a kill, and I think Rossmann was the second guy to die, and it was actually Maru who killed Rossmann. So
okay. So Master Mark II looks in trouble here. Vita's being pressed hard as well. They have returned fire, so again that's good. It's just pushing them away, so not just dragging. Kraut with a close missile behind. Not even behind, turned into it. That must have been a leftover. Tanks going from Nazgul. Right, Una Musquet is isolated here. That's 8 miles to friendly on the west. Do you recall who was the first death for the 343rd?
it might have been an Musquet.
There's 2 AMRAAMs. Twiz? I mean, the first one went into the second one went to the ground. First one... Did you see what just happened?
I didn't see it. It just hit the first one. Oh.
We got a little AMRAAM on AMRAAM action.
Is this the issue of the latest patch again, where
This could be. I have no idea what was going on in the Musquet's pit here, but you know, if the radar is showing things, that could be mistaken for a bandit quite easily. I don't know. I've not actually seen this in these jets at the moment. I'm trying my best to avoid the big debate happening on Discord. But you got an AMRAAM. I think that AMRAAM was going after that. It was pulling lead on this AMRAAM. So Una Musquet has ended up foxing on AMRAAMs. That's unfortunate. Comment in stream chat from the aerospace professional: if you keep the Viper slow, you'll have an F-18 without agility. Truth. So here's Falcon's Fox on Ross. Ross is low. Like, nearly everyone is low here. Cookie is high, 20,000 feet. Kraut is relatively high at 14,000. Everybody else is pretty much in the weeds. Master's about 10,000. I think that's trashed from Maru. Vita pushing, and Vita must get killed here. I mean, that's being pincered.
This might be. Oh no, yeah, this is where target someone else.
Yeah, this one, though, I think is going to get him. Yeah, there we go. Vita defended into the ground.
Ah, yeah.
So, maneuver kill. That was from Nazgul, I think. This one chasing Inamuske. Turns back into it here, I think. But just outruns it. That's dodgy. So close. Right, Rossman with the Fox on Kraut. I'm just going to pause it there for a second before that actually gets in the area. That isn't tracking... This Kraut's missile isn't tracking Rossman, possibly on Master. I think Rossman's may connect, but I'm just pausing for a second just to look at the positioning. So we're down to 5 on the 343rd, and we've got, like, you know, this kind of spiky element on the east pushing northeast. But the 14th are still more or less, you know, in a line, which is good because I think they collapse in. It's interesting just to see how they're kind of, you know, there's a few of them at a time being isolated. Oh, there was a defense from Kraut there I want to go back and watch. That looked very close. That's a do a barrel roll defense. $100 feet. Nice. I think Rossman was in trouble here. Oh, yeah, Tacview shows that Rossman ate it. The aircraft, according to this Tacview, had kind of an explosion before it hit, but that's probably just desyncy stuff. Yeah, weird that. Either way, Rossman died, and then we're down to 4. So, 6 on 4. I think at this point they were in real trouble. And they're all down low. 7,000 feet is the highest. 15,000 on Falcon coming in. Miru pushing in. They can afford to be aggressive here. Inamuske
shoots everything he's got.
I'm going back to watch that, actually. It was kind of funny.
I think at this point you realise you might have just lost the lock.
Yeah, 2.8 miles. Let's just have a quick look. Trying to Mad Dog. Is he Mad Dogging on this guy? Is that what's happened? It's starting to pull. Let's just watch. No, just Mad Dogs. 2 AMRAAMs and a 9M. And we're down to 3. And a Fox over here gets defended by Falcon. I want to see how close that was. It looked like it was relatively. Proximity feasing, anyone? Once again, do a barrel roll. That should have been a kill. Sorry, Fox 9 was hard done by there in my book. And Miru has pressed in aggressively, is now retreating. Lots of Foxes. So what do you think the 343rd could have done here? Is there anything they could have done, or was this really just writing on the wall time?
It's pretty much at this point writing on the wall time. It's maybe wait, let them use their missiles, and then... Oh yeah, that's a kill from Master.
Yeah,
Has
go back again.
Master.
I think what you just said there, I think, is right, because they're both trying to push in. There's 2 Foxes north, right? They're being kind of surrounded. They have to get some missiles out, and I think they're then trying to push. Yeah, they're both pushing another 2 Foxes on the east, so that's 4 total coming out. But look as they Fox. There's 3 missiles coming down on Master here. So there's the one from Kraut at 3 miles. You've got the one from Cookie at 3 miles, and the one from Nazgul at 5 miles, and it's just. You know?
Yeah. Just thinking what they could have done, but okay, again, this is hindsight.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I'd probably, depending how good the comms are, just get them to go in one at a time, bait the shots, get them to waste as many missiles, because you'd have thought they'd have an idea how many they've shot.
Yeah.
and just keep doing it until they stop using missiles, and then just be aware one or two might have one. Make them overcommit.
Yeah, I mean, this really is the key point here. And again, you're right, like absolutely correct. Hindsight, it's 2020, and it's all fine and well us sitting here quietly, slowly analysing it and pausing it and rewinding. It's like, as we both know, it's completely different being in the pit, making split-second decisions. Like, the key thing is when they've lost Musake here, at that moment, Master is, what's this, 3 miles from Maru. I mean, it's like, okay, it ends up foxing north first, but it's like, that close, you almost have to do something.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. If you were able to do the correct thing in the moment, try and regroup and pull away, bleed missiles with that many up, there's not much you can do. It's either be ballsy, go fangs out and just go for it, or try and take a slow burn. But ultimately the numbers will probably get you.
Yep, and I bet you if you asked one of these guys how many of your team are still alive in this fight, I bet none of them will probably give you the correct answer.
Yeah,
I think this happened very fast. We're watching this in like half speed, aren't we?
3 times at the moment speed.
Or 3 times, but it felt faster.
Yeah, I'll just rewind. I'll play at normal speed before we advance on, and just watch this whole engagement happen, because they're all, like, even Master Mark II here, right? Turns hot and foxes. From this moment on, like, Master Mark II is just heads down, like SA overload, trying to follow everything going on. There's 4 of them alive. Unamusuke is about to get, fox everything on the right, so this is normal speed. And that was 8:55 in about 48 seconds. I think they lose 2 planes in the course of about 2 minutes, maybe less. So it turns in hot, there's missiles going around, this bandit's 4 miles away. Friendly has died, that's about 20 seconds have passed. Maybe 30. That's about 20. And Master is about to eat it. Here comes Kraut's missile. 2 miles goes into the dirt. Here comes the next one, 3 miles, turns cold. 0.9 Mach, so not terribly slow, but And splash. So in about 50 seconds they've lost 2 friendly aircraft. And they've foxed up 3 friendly aircraft. I'm not actually sure what happened the last one there. Was it in the dirt? Was it a maneuver kill? Starry Fox 9?
120, is it Kraut's 120?
Yeah, running, trying to defend, and explodes. I was gonna say there must be a hill here, but seem to have altitude. Like, Tacview is showing at about, 1,300 feet? Must have been a kill. It just may not be coming up right.
No, yeah.
So yeah, they've lost 3 people in the course of a minute.
God, Phoenix is where there you see a team kill from Cookie.
I think you're right.
On poor Nazgul down there.
So Katanak defending, Notch is the first. Oh, here you go. Here's Cookie's missile. Cookie's missile is going to pick up Nazgul. No. Oh no, single shots. Single shots. Oh, notches. It does come up though. Nazgul just wants the guns kill. I mean, it's not an unreasonable ask, is it? Here you go. But Kraut says no.
Crap. Okay.
I think it was Kraut. Let's just double check that. Yeah, it's Kraut.
Yeah, that's right.
Kraut says you're not allowed to have a gun skill.
Got 2 hits at once there. You can claim that.
Yeah. Well, and that was it. So 4 aircraft remaining. Second round went to the 14th. So any thoughts on the general, how that round went, what either side could have done differently, or what they did differently, and its effects compared to the first?
Yeah, I think, as you say, we said before, they just let him get around them and push them out their mountains, and they just had 2 fronts to defend them. It probably just became a little bit too much to defend against and actually engage them properly. They always seem to be on the back foot.
Yeah, as I was noting earlier in the squadron overview, the 343rd had experience of 2-on-2 and 4v4 tournaments, coming second place in TACT 20.1 in that 4v4 BVR. I don't know whether they have much 6v6 experience and whether that was a factor. Maybe they were adopting 4v4 tactics to a 6v6 and the depth of aircraft didn't work the same way. You know, it's not like having two elements and just sticking an extra aircraft on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to say the same thing I said a couple of times now, but the three up front and the three in trail, it felt like they could fight one vector, you know, and as the three turned cold, the other three came in, etc. But they couldn't fight two vectors. And that may be an extrapolating that.
Yeah, it did feel like the third guy in each flight was wasted. He could have done with splitting them off.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially if they saw the SA and saw them coming, basically matching the enemy's force coming in.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think in the very first match that Tricker streamed, I think it was ETF versus somebody, Alamo, we saw the Jeff junkies up front, two Jeffs being supported by a Tomcat, and you effectively had two groups, but they were on, you know, in a spread. You know, you had that kind of a little bit of depth, but two different vectors. And again, I think it possibly just made it too easy for the 14th, initially at least, to focus in on that. But over time, that falls apart anyway. You know, like you get into that tactical blob and everyone's SA becomes tumbleweed and shit hits the fan.
I think it'd be always good if you can have someone sitting back from the front guys just to maybe manage them a little bit. Just give them that extra little bit of SA that yeah, come out cold, I'll go in hot and just cover you as you get reset.
Interesting suggestion.
But again, it's just tactics, isn't it?
That's it. It's very, you know, it's very easy to make comments. Us watching it like this, it's very hard to know if any of them would actually work or not.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the third round. Again, this was the same positions as the first round, which is the 343rd 1. So the 14th, coming out of Alain, more or less set up their wall again as they did in all three rounds, but like the comment that came in, I can't remember which 14th guy made it. Might have been Falcon. I think they were more successful with it this time. They picked up what they needed to from the second round. Seem like a fair statement?
Yeah. And I'm wondering, I don't know if they're still in the chat, whether they made a conscious decision to do that little jink to the left.
Yeah, this right here is the biggest difference from the first round we saw. Saying, no, we're not going to fight you on the beaches, fight you on the hills. And going, no, we're actually going to now extend west, leaving that first element to position. I think what was interesting here is they shifted the wall. So where the wall was running east-west, they've made it now on the diagonal. Now if I just pause this for a second and we look at the first guy here, Master Mark II, is with 32 miles. 35 miles then to the middle group, 34 miles, 34 miles. So they're all more or less the same distance out. You know, so that's a good employment of it, and you've got that depth from the rightmost, 14 miles to the leftmost? Not terribly wide, but it's a good supporting position.
Yeah. But again, it's like, for the 43rd guys, like, who do you shoot first? So you can waste all your missiles on all of them.
Yeah, and I think that's why it was effective. It's not an obvious, here is the leading one or the leading two. It's, here's the leading 6.
Yep. And again, with hindsight, I think they were a bit sparing with the missiles, the 343rd. Just send one guy in, and then immediately I'm sure there'll be one or two that will shoot at him. That's 2 missiles gone if they could count how many missiles fire.
Yeah,
That's that whole different tactic again.
I'll be curious to see, but again, yeah, same caveat of it's easy sitting back here. 30,000 feet, Hornets there, Viper behind. That Viper's kind of wasted here in my book. I think that should be 10,000 feet higher and about half a Mach faster. But without firing anything, I'm just watching for this AMRAM to come off. The first one from Miru. Immediately Master Mark II is descending. So preempting, that's good. Rossman similarly gets the Fox out. But where Master Mark II ends up, sub 20,000. Then Foxes. Right, supersonic, but who's this going at? I want to say something like Kraut? No, someone on the left. 20 miles. 20,000 feet? Nah. You gotta put one out, but it's not gonna do much. 20 miles at 30,000 feet. Yeah. Better chance, but you're defending so soon. They're all cheap shots. Let's just slow this down because there's missiles going everywhere.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see Rossman and his flight turning up as soon as Saber's flight turned cold. I believe Saber. So I was waiting for you to move the screen.
Sorry.
Good to see his name. But yeah, they do. I've got that down. I do like seeing that. Always having a flight hot.
Yeah, that's one thing I think they did well in all of the rounds. As the one flight went cold, the other flight was hot. But like but even so, look at this position. You've got 3 guys on the back who are trying to recommit. I think Katanak was one of them. Una Musake, and Rossman has turned hot. Was Rossman private? No. Starry Fox 9 is cold, so we've got 3 hot here in a kind of almost like an echelon, you know. Like, if we look from Falcon's point of view, 8 miles, 10 miles, 12 miles, so they're not quite a wall, but 3 of them. But again, you look at Master Mark II to Cookie, 12 miles, 11 miles, 8 miles, 10 miles. Okay, it's starting to get out here now, but there again, like, there's lots of them really close. There's no obvious single one to focus on when you've only got 3 guys hot, but 4 guys here who can press in.
I'll say, as soon as they commit on one guy, the rest just collapse in on them. It's not an easy thing to fight.
No, and I think what we found then, this western fight got kind of peeled off. I think it was a 2v2 in the end.
Yeah.
In a Musake. Oh, I swear, I'll never remember that. Not without having to think about it. And Nazgul and Katanak. Miru. So again, lots of AMRAMs. Oh, did we lose someone there? Was that an AMRAM? That was an AMRAM dead.
So we have a look at the flight. So Saber got the first go, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was a Kraut or single shot. It was one of them. I'm assuming Kraut from where he's positioned at the minute.
Yeah.
So we did have a lot of just jousting here, didn't we? Like,
yep.
Fire turn cold.
Just exchanging
a lot
sticks.
of missiles, yeah.
I mean, I'd love to actually run a count of how many have been fired and whatnot. Here we go. Is this Cyber and... Ooh!
Did you shoot down the missile?
I think he did. I wonder, was that deliberate? Was it just happened? So it's really hard to know. It's impossible for us to know here.
Yeah, because I'm sure all they see on their radar is a contact. I'll fire one at both.
Yeah. So let's just watch this slowly from Cyber's point of view? Saber? I don't know.
Saber. I'll call him Saber.
So somebody in stream chat, please let me know. So here's the first Fox. First Fox goes for the AMRAM. So this is the first one. I think it's tracking on this. Shoots down the AMRAM, and hilariously Tacview shows the dead AMRAM colliding with Cyber, but I don't think they actually did anything. So was it just 2 AMRAMs came out? Yeah, second one went on Kraut then. So if we follow that against Kraut. Turn back into it. That was the mistake. Did a roll and then broke to the right again. Hard left probably would have been better.
Yeah.
See the number of times of people flying here. They roll one way and then break back into the missile. I don't know if they're conscious or not. Let's have a look at stream chat quickly. Falcon says, "Huh." Borchi. I'm not sure who Borchi is in terms of in-game, could let me know, please, Borchi? I should know that. Apologies.
I think you did mention it, and I forgot myself.
Yeah, that was what I saw as an explosion behind me. Was totally confused. Aerospace Professional seems to be one of the most epic rounds I've ever seen. It was pretty hectic.
So, a couple of notes here. Unamasuk is the guy who kills Nazgul, so that's probably where we need to look next.
Roger, thank you for taking those notes. They are really useful when we do this. Oh, yeah, same thing again. It was just what I commented on, and I don't know if Nazgul saw this or not, but you know, missiles coming in from your left aspect, you know, kind of breaks to the right, keep breaking right and extend away, and what gets him killed, I think, is rolls left, reverses, and then turns into the missile.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a number of times throughout this. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't.
And this is where Maru also comes back and basically has a revenge kill.
Now, is this where Miru was dodging AMRAAMs?
It was, yes. I don't think it was until later, but yeah, he was.
Okay, but it's kind of from here. So this Tacview, by the way, folks, is from the server, so this should be the authoritative one, versus what I might have seen on my side, or what Octuple would have seen, or what any of the pilots would have seen. If the server says something, DCS follows. RWR blind spot, says Borchi. Borchi's Kraut. Okay, thank you, Borchi. Thank you, Kraut.
I need to find out what happened to Katanak. He apparently crashed. I'm not sure if we've already missed that.
Let's have a look then, because he was out here on the coast. No, ate an AMRAAM from Nazgul.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Falcon is saying that Falcon was already low on fuel at this point. Aerospace Professional is like, telling the Germans, come on, eat this bratwurst, eat it. Not sure what that was in reference to. Londar turns into the missile because it appears spoofed, I think. Yeah, it's one of those things, I think as Kraut said to RWR blind spot, that you can't trust the RWR. Like, you have to assume the missile's still back there, you know?
This is where we need to go back to the...
Falcon says Kraut is a scrub. Sorry, where am I looking now?
Master, I believe it is. I'm not sure if I've missed another kill.
So Master is still alive at this point.
Master... Oh, this is a team kill, I believe. Starry at some point.
Okay, let's just let this roll. Starry has a Fox out on single shot that was very close looking. I'm going to go back and watch that because it looks close. Oh, that looks almost like a little bit of lag. You can just see the jet warping a little bit. Slow it down. But doesn't reverse the turn.
Yeah,
Reversal there gets single shot killed.
100 feet.
That was a good defense. Possibly a little bit fortunate, but you take those. So where are we at this point is we have three 343rd alive. You've got Starry Fox 9 on the east with Master Mark 2 pressing against even numbers of 2, so Cookie and single shot. You've got Rossman on the west, isolated, with Falcon and Miru pointing in. And I think this was the moment I was saying that Rossman needed to extend east and try to regroup and get the three together again. Yeah. But I think what happened was Rossman ended up being the sole survivor, but there was a 2-on-1. Let's watch. Was it a team kill between Master and Starry?
I believe there was. I'm not sure if it's for a while yet.
Oh, there's a Fox. And Cookie has Foxed. We'll just leave her run real time for a few minutes. I think we're at the point of the mission where shit happens fast again.
Yeah. So, yeah, Cookie was the sole survivor of this one, wasn't he?
Oh, did you see what happened there?
Oh, was it another
missile?
Yeah. So this is the current state of DCS.
Yep, it's running a little bit slowly, so... I don't know if that was launched against the missile, or if... I wonder if this missile from Master was tracking the AMRAAM, or Cookie's AMRAAM tracking... Cookie's AMRAAM was tracking Master's. That's unfortunate. Again, I don't know if it was targeted on it, or if it just picked it up when it went active. Either
if
way,
you're
that's
using-
shit.
Using auto acquire or something that says again, see something at 10 miles or less, you think?
Yeah.
Shoot.
You could imagine an AMRAAM going active when it picks up a missile in front of it and just goes, that's my target. Master is sorting in behind Starry Fox 9. Is this where the team kill happens?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at that AMRAAM in the background. I'm not sure what that's up to. Next to
Is
Cookie.
this Ross Man's one? Ooh, notched. Does it pick up single shot? This would be incredible if it does. Oh, it does!
It was, yeah.
Was that fired by Rossman? It was. Oh my.
Is it Rossman? I've got down to see it.
Hang on a second. Where did that come from? It just appears on my screen here.
Ah, I think Saber is still alive at this right point.
Oh, Tacview just doesn't have Saber
Might have
shown.
been hit.
Interesting.
Reverse, rewind it a bit. See where he.
So Saber's here, and Saber just falls off the scope, I think. So 800 feet, yeah, that's Saber. That just
Yeah.
does. I don't know what the
Something.
fuck is going on here. DCS be fucked.
Yep. So he's still flying.
Okay, so it's
Turned on his ECM.
yeah. Hope not. So at this point, all of the 343rd were alive, so this was a little bit before it got down to what we thought were 3 left. Confirmation in chat, it was Saber. I'm still not sure what the correct pronunciation there is, folks, if you could let me know, Saber, Cyber, something else. There's good positioning, though, to get in there for this Fox,
Yep.
when it appears. Here it is. I'm just watching Rossman as well. I think Rossman defends this one from Miru. Does, so we'll follow this one on Cookie. Gets notched, but single shot. Poof. So at this point, for me, this is actually looking really good for the 343rd. Because you have Miru, Falcon, and Cookie alive. Rossman is still kind of isolated, but I think I'm right in saying ended up being the last one standing. You have 3 343rd in this area, assuming Saber is still alive and hadn't died sometime in between. So that's a 4-on-3, and then it just goes to shit.
Yeah, now it's the team kill there.
Oh, F-35 confirmed, says Kraut.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened with Master there, where he was shooting, whether it was on Cookie.
It feels very unfortunate, doesn't it?
Yes.
Is it a case
He is-
of was firing on the fire bandit on single shot, or, you know, single shot died, so the missile then went for Starry?
Yeah, I think Starry's just in the wrong place there.
Let's just watch this.
Yeah, it's not tracking Starry, it's going to the
It's
right.
just
isn't it?
lofting. I mean, that's... Is it a cheap shot at this point? Is it still being
Yeah,
supported?
I think it's going. Who just died there? Sorry, he did single shot, wasn't it? So it looks like
Yeah,
it's
that was the
single-
one from
single shot's direct.
Saber. And then now it's active and it's tracking. Sorry, that
Yeah.
was... I think that was a poor judgment to fire that with a friendly right in front of you. So, Master ties
That
it
range
up.
as well. That confused me a bit. Why would you fire at that range, even if it was a hostile?
Now let's look at the range. So I think you're right. Like, when he's alive here, you are 9 miles to a beaming bandit who's down in the weeds. What's that, 900? No, 2,000 feet? You're at 4,000. You got hills, you got terrain. Poor shot. For me, that probably set the tone of what's about to happen. Although I don't want to say it's just one action that, you know,
Yeah.
lost them it. This certainly did not help. It was a big turning point. Because Starry Fox 9 would have pressed into Cookie, Saber would have been in the area, 2-on-1, Cookie dies, you've got 2 left. Now you're in a 4-on-2. Instead, now it's 3 14th versus supposedly 3 343rd, but somebody dies. Saber, I think, dies in here at some point. That stealth coating is doing a number on us. Bullet says you try to track someone with an 18, they shoot, your radar bugs the missile 50% of the time. And that is being supported with exactly! I can't actually see the name of the person. Udati. For whatever reason, Twitch, when people's names are blue, dark blue, it's nearly impossible to read them against the dark background. Okay.
So we should see, is it Master Kill Maru here?
Okay. Rossman has put a missile out on Cookie, but presumably that's trashed now. It's just disappeared. Here's Master's missile tracking Falcon. So presumably that's defeated.
So, no, yeah, I think it's another quaking agent. So Master kills Maru, then
Nope.
Falcon kills Master.
Cookie is foxing. I think this is going to be Saber dying. Possibly. Do you have Saber's death on your notes?
I do not know.
Okay, so there's Master's Fox on Miru up in the top. And I'm going to go back to watch that. I'm assuming that's Saber dying here. I see wreckage.
Wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stealth jet is defeated. We're going to go back and watch Master's Fox on Miru because I think this is the moment we were saying that we saw 2 missiles hit Miru and nothing but DCS.
Yeah. It might have been earlier in the match.
Yeah, first one might have been earlier indeed too. I thought it was on the coast.
Yeah. I think this is while we were watching the team kill.
Yeah, I'll actually go back and have a look.
Yeah, we'll be back up.
I just want to see this. That on my screen this connected. I think on yours too. Didn't. Right.
Yeah.
So I think it was just the difference between, you know, thinking it hit the jet and it exploded in the ground and going, oh, the jet must be down. So that was defeated. That's fine. Let's go back and just keep an eye on Miru. There's another missile here somewhere. There's probably here, actually. One of these ones from this engagement, perhaps. Okay, not that. That was the one that killed. This one, maybe? No. No, that's in the water. Maybe before that? Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yes.
This one. Let's slow this one down. That's a hit. Now, it's possible that the Viper tanked it and just showed no damage, or DCS is being DCS. We did see this exact same thing last weekend.
Yeah, maybe we saw it last night with different missiles in the Mistral, didn't we? It might just be something of the F-16.
Damage model, yeah. It is early access. As they always say. Alright, let's roll forward again to where we were.
Yeah, so we're watching Master, weren't we? Master and Maru, I think it was.
Yes. Osman runs, Falcon, I think, comes in, Cookie kills Saber. There we go. I feel like this round was really on a knife edge. This could have gone either way at a number of points.
Really good. The whole match.
Like if the 343rd obviously had won this round, that was the match over.
Yeah.
You know. It's nice that we got into the third round though. It's good from a coverage and a viewing point of view. There's an AMRAM on Rossman. Oh, eats it, but flies.
But Rossman survived. Is this another one?
Tanked it? There's a 9M for some reason. I think there's another 9M comes out here for some reason. Rossman, if you're watching, yeah, your Fox 2s weren't effective net. Oh, Maru eats a heater. Because it'd been interesting watching back that only one of those 2 we thought connected was actually did. So at this point we are 2 on 2. And I think one of these guys on the 14th had an AMRAM left. And when they merged, Foxed it. For whatever reason. Rush of blood. I've done the same thing myself. I think I have a clip actually of me and a tiger foxing a Fox 2 at a fish bed as we merge.
Was the name 9 out? And on nothing.
Boop. Master goes. Let's just watch that again. I want to see the, hang on, kind of parameters. Everything, you know, just happened on the deck in this match.
Yeah.
You know, like usually when I look at Foxes, I'm looking at someone at 20,000 feet against 15,000, I'm looking at Mach numbers, all of this stuff. It's all just down in the weeds. They're just lobbing AMRAAMs around. That was what, about 5 miles? Master stays hot. I don't know why Master stays hot, but that got you killed, Master. I think
he went for the notch.
I think he did, but it didn't work.
Yeah, at 4 miles, I don't think you could have done much more anyway.
Well, you fire a Fox 2. You could try and break, but I don't think you can. I mean, that's, yeah, look.
Yeah.
That close. You're going to have to try and notch. Just didn't work out.
Yeah, notch would drag it into the ground, but how high he was, the terrain's a bit weird here.
Yeah, and I think this has been talked about in a few Discords lately, but you can kind of see where, you know, the missile is looking versus you. And you can see the angle off.
Yeah, there's no chap either.
Good point.
Sure run out.
Yeah, in a Hornet, I would well believe that he has run out at this point. So that was Falcon killing Master, and now we're into a 2-on-1, and Ross, man. Story of the match. 5 miles on a Fox 2 is dodgy anyway. I don't think you have a high PK in much on even like a rear aspect shot, you know. That's not going to do it with someone in Afterburner, etc. Hot on... Was he hot? I'm not even sure. I can't see it under Parachutist. Let's jump here. So he turned hot, and then immediately turned, and this never tracked. Again, it's like, just flew straight. Because now if you had your Fox 2, you know, maybe a little bit further back, now you're in a range of where you could actually hit him as you merge.
I think that's what they did.
And this is hilarious, because this is where the AMRAAM gets fired.
I've got a feeling this is where they crash into each other.
I think they merge
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah, there's the AMRAAM. Oh yeah, you are right.
And they go for another pass, and then they
So
collide.
it's a second circle, yeah. Yeah, that was must have been a bit of quick panic shot.
Easily done.
Funnily enough, the AMRAAM actually tried to turn around.
Unlike the M9 that's still flying straight. I'd love to know, was this deliberate? Did he just ram because it was the last flight, or was it actually just an unfortunate midair?
Yeah, no guns.
Let's go for guns. 1,000 feet, 1,000 feet. Oh.
So watching the clip, I think someone clipped it earlier. I think it was just an accident. It does look like they weren't trying to go for each other.
Yeah, I think Falcon doesn't fire here, so Falcon isn't actually pressing in. I think Rossman probably got tunnel visioned. Yeah, I mean, you're gunning that close. Hang on, let me roll this back. Just when the guns open up, basically, I want to freeze there. Here, 800 feet, you're 0.7 Mach, he's 0.4. Pretty slow, actually. But you're closing that gap so quickly. That's such a pity. I think if Rossman had survived that merge and just drawn out a fight, we could have had a really intense finish to that round. Not that we didn't already, you know. And more intense, perhaps.
Yeah, would have been interesting to see that fight. I really did want to see it.
Me too. That's why it felt almost like an anticlimax. That it's like, oh, they crashed into each other. Shit.
Yeah.
And then Cookie had an easy time going back home.
Yeah.
That was
the
the third round, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, as these matches go, getting down to a guns engagement for the end of the third round, you know, 2-on-1, that's pretty epic.
Yeah. No, it was great fun watching.
Indeed, and that is the end of that. It was an incredible match. Well done to both teams for, you know, what was highly entertaining, really exciting to watch and exciting to commentate on.
Leaving it with just one sole survivor is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, Cookie made it home. 1 plane remaining. So congrats to the 14th on the win. Commiserations to the 343rd, but you know, a really good showing, really interesting, very exciting match. Thank you to everybody who has come along. Thank you for the follows, the subs, the chats, the interactions, everything. Adds a lot to this. It has been a pleasure to host it. And a big thank you to Octuplefire for coming along and adding some colour to this.
Pleasure to be here. It's very enjoyable. So.
Well, again, thank you very much. So the next match is going to be tomorrow. I'll be streaming. Top of my head, I have forgotten. So let me check this. 1700 Zulu, the number 15 battle axes versus Outer Heaven. And then we have Low Blow tomorrow evening with the third match of the weekend, 1900 Zulu, Toa versus Harpia. So come along, check those out, folks. There's a lot more to come from TACT. This is just weekend number 3. Let me throw up the schedule briefly while I finish up this little wrap-up. So scanning through here now. If you do exclamation TACT in stream chat, you'll get the link to the ED post. All these schedules are just nicked from that forum post. X-Man is occasionally keeping updated. Thank you, X-Man. So yeah, lots more TACT action to come. A lot of other streamers doing it, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye on the promotion, the schedule, etc. And hopefully we'll see you folks again tomorrow. I may be streaming again in a few hours for the Persian Gulf event that the 64th are running. Have to check Discord to see if anyone else has picked up. If not, I'm likely to. So keep an eye out for that. Should be fun. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And thanks to everybody for coming along. Thanks to both squadrons and etc. etc. I'm running out of thanks. Or as my brother once said in a wedding speech, he has so many tanks he could invade a small country. Badumtish. And on that bombshell, I will wrap up. So, good night, folks. See you soon.